remember half the shit, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Oh yeah, there's a recap channel. And
this is why he really proposed to me.
all right, so yeah, that's a lot.
2 sessions worth.
All right, so
Oh, Gavin. Hey, Gavin, you were there.
Yep.
What'd you hit me with that recap, buddy? Right on the fly.
I already said not it though.
But I said it's gonna be you. Let's go.
All right, I'll give it a shot. The recording already going?
It's been going.
All right. So our merry band of misfits, when they were out in the Darkroot Woods over in the city of Mistvale, about to begin their training with the Order of the Calamitous Mind to develop innate abilities to resist psionics, was suddenly encompassed by a strange mist and found themselves still standing in a forest as they were before, but it wasn't the same forest. They rarely had time to acclimate before they heard the sounds of shouting of what sounded to be a male voice not far away, to find one red-headed, purple-eyed human who appeared to be pinned down by a tree in a bog. Upon rescuing this individual and discovering his name was Trip Threepens, one Lucas Kaisai was abducted by a strange robot. Whether or not this robot was related to the odd remote that Trip had in his possession, it was not known. Though, of course, it was later discovered that it was indeed the same robot that this remote was to. After a chaotic pursuit of Lucas, where the group managed to split into 3 parties. They encountered some flumps, they encountered some slods, which was very bad. But after making their way through this mysterious forest and finally catching up to this robot, they encountered the robot, subdued it, and supposedly rescued Lucas. Turns out, come to find out, Lucas was never actually in any danger. The robot was literally just collecting Lucas to take him back to the town of Nightvine. Upon defeating this robot, they encountered a strange sight. This ball of wind and lightning approached. And whenever it materialized, they discovered this to be a human female who looked to probably be in about her early 50s. She had actually already collected Norn Bravemight and Nixri Valancourt and taken them to the city of Nightvine, which, come to find out, only materialized there just because she wanted to see Lucas. And that's where we're at, being led back to the town within the Witch's Forest, the town of Nightvine. How'd I do?
Wonderful. It was perfect, Evan. Great job. You got recaps from now on.
No. As Sean just said, I do not run recaps for games that I run.
All right, it was beautiful. Sean totally needs to teach me how to like pre-record them and then play the audio, or at least send them to him so he can play the audio.
I would imagine it's not that hard. You just record yourself speaking.
So,
Like this.
Titty sprinkles.
That's not your voice.
it's Morgan Freeman saying titty sprinkles. I've seen that one. Titty sprinkles.
All right. Oh, that's right. I'm running the game now, so you're waiting for me to say something. Right. I got to get back in DM mode.
Yeah, you took a
So-
month-long
Hey,
hiatus.
real
Welcome
quick,
back.
real quick. Hey, Sean, you can send it to my Outlook. It's just TORBUSH,
Whoa,
Torbush
hold on,
at
hold on.
outlook.com.
Hold on.
Okay,
T-O-R, what?
BUSH
B-U-S-H. Okay,
at outlook.com.
And anybody who's not in our game who happens to be watching this video, if you happen to be and you see that email, make sure you send it a lot of spam, alright?
Yeah. Oops. Whatever.
Do not be merciful. He earned every bit of it.
Send him tons of gay porn, okay? Tons of it.
And then just send him one straight porn every now and then back to gay porn.
Alright, so after a brief period of time, it takes maybe an hour to trek through the way of this forest, you eventually arrive at a clearing. And what you see is this small, sort of stilted treehouse overlooking what appears to be a large pond. It looks like a pretty humble getup. Again, it's like this stilted house. It's right next to a large tree, so it's sort of using this tree as support too, where there's like a balcony that wraps around this tree. And as you approach, all she says to the rest of you is, "Mind the pond. I just, Pogo likes to... He likes visitors."
Okay.
Before suddenly, out of nowhere, this giant frog, we're talking like the size of a small dragon, just bursts out of this pond. And
I need everyone to roll initiative.
no. And not surprisingly, Lucas, you are met with a very large frog tongue as this thing jumps out, and it just grabs you off of the ground, picks you up with this prehensile tongue, starts rubbing you against the side of his head, like he's just glad to see you.
So he's just yanking my unconscious body around. Cool.
Yep. I would say about this time, though, is when things start to get a little bit hazy and you start to slightly come to. But also, in a similar fashion as what your previous condition was, you find yourself restrained in the clutches of another large creature. Though then you realize it's just Pogo.
So I'm just coming to consciousness in the mouth of a frog.
Not in the mouth. You are outside of his mouth, but you are grappled by his tongue.
Okay.
Being flung around.
Pogo. Where are we?
He
Oh, I
just
know where we are.
ribbits and croaks and then, like, puts you down a little too rough and then just, like, jumps on you and pins you to the ground.
Yeah,
And
okay.
she looks at him, she's like, "Pogo, down!" He hops off of you, gives a sad ribbit, and then just disappears under the surface of the water. As you're just covered in this, like, slimy goo.
Yeah, I'll just
You have
go
a
shake it off and then prestidigitation myself.
pet frog.
I'll find there's quite a bit about me that, Anyway, let's continue.
Hey! And I will just run up and give Miss Lily a hug.
She hugs you back, and she was like, "It's so good to see you, Lucas."
Yeah,
Now,
of course. When did you get here? When did we get here?
well, I just wanted to see you.
Yeah, and then you were scooped up by a giant robot, and we had to chase after you.
So that was unintended. Well, actually, it was intended. The subsequent destruction of the robot was the part that was unintended. He was simply collecting you and bringing you back here. I don't know why the rest of you decided to attack it.
Because we didn't know it was just trying to collect him, it kind of took him and ran away. There was no message. There was no nothing. Hey, he's
You've
safe. I'm just
seen
taking him back.
That's
Right?
That's McKenna.
Yeah,
She no longer lives here in the forest. That's her creation. Let's just say every family has their misfits.
Well, your misfit made a toy, and we broke it.
Well, thank you for that.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
It wasn't our problem to fix. I really could not care either way whether you dismantled that robot. thank you regardless.
Yeah, not a problem.
Now, if we could step inside. A couple of your acquaintances they're already waiting for you.
Wonderful. One of them has my brain worm.
She gives her head a scratch, but doesn't probe any further. So, she leads you inside the residence, and you do see a Norn Bravemight and a Nixri Valancourt, and immediately when you walk in, Norn just starts, "We don't have time for this. We need to go. Kalim's forces grow more powerful by the hour." She's
Wow.
like, yes, your outer turmoils. I just wish to see my old apprentice. That is all. You are free to leave whenever you wish. The forest was due for another transport anyway, and I just simply voiced my preference for where it should go.
So how have you been?
Oh, I've been fine. Everything's pretty much the same here as it's always been, though it sounds to me as if the same cannot be said for the rest of the world.
Not
It's
quite. I don't
pretty much
know
on
how
fire.
in the know you are, but there's this whole thing with Colleen going on, who apparently has it up for us specifically.
And why might that be, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we kind of wrecked a birthday party. Well, sorry. Our friend Neston's birthday party, he tried to wreck it on his initial debut of Anarchy, and we stopped that. And apparently that put a pretty big stick up his butt, and he's been pissed off at us ever since. Oh, and apparently Raven is related to the Angel of Death, whatever that is about. And he needs the blood from a god that ascended through the gate thing of apotheosis. So he's been collecting the blood of his descendants. Apparently he already got ravens, but
It's complicated.
yeah.
It's a lot.
I don't know why he really has it out for the rest of us so badly, but
Guilty by association.
there it is.
Yeah.
Well, Lucas, introduce me to your friends.
She knows all of them.
She does?
Yes, because we talked about this. Here.
We don't know her, but she knows us.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, yeah. She knows us, but
Even,
we don't know
even
you.
with that being the case, though, it's still polite.
Okay, well, that's one thing to say. All right.
I knew that, yes.
Okay. Sure.
He doesn't know that she already knows.
Fair enough. I didn't metagame. I didn't know if you didn't realize this. Yeah. All right. Of course. So, Neston. And that's a nod. So
Hello.
they're a little bit more froggy than what they normally look like. What is up with y'all's skin?
Don't worry about it. Please, for the love of God.
Okay, and that's Flora. The big one here is Molly. That's Bon and Raven. And then Nixri and Norton, I think you've already gotten to know.
We are acquainted already with your interesting friends, to say the least. Yeah, Neston speaks up and he's like, it was Magitoads. That's what they were. A guy named Dave.
I just look them.
Do you mind if I ask if you have anything to remedy this? Because I'm tired of feeling webby.
Webby.
She says, of course. And then you see her eyes flash blue and little bolt of lightning, like little streaks of lightning come out of her eyes as she just... And you're back to normal.
Thank you.
beautiful flesh.
Yes.
Lucas, you reckon it was a really simple spell. It was just to dispel magic.
He looks better as a fox than a toad.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, as I'm coming to realize, upon entering, you notice that she has made cookies. And as far as the interior of this shack goes, it's not what you expected. The inside does not look like the outside. She's got like dragon tapestries all over the place in here. You see that she has this like very metal looking guitar just hanging on the wall. I mean, like, it's black and spiky and is absolutely not what you would expect from her. This upper middle-aged human woman. She's got like this giant like owl bear rug in the middle of the house. She's got like those little like tie-dye like hanging bead curtains and things leading into different rooms. She's a pretty rad older woman.
Yeah, I'll go grab the cookies and like set it on a tray in front of everybody, and I'll pop one in my mouth. 'Cause they're good.
Yeah.
They're homemade.
I grab
from
a cookie.
scratch.
Cookies.
As good as it is, you cannot place the flavor.
Secret ingredient is people. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
No,
alright,
it's weed.
whatever.
So she walks over to and grabs a tobacco pipe, and she says, "So, tell me, what are It's been so long since we've seen each other. What are your plans going forward?"
Raven pulls out a cigarette, lights it. Brainworm.
Yes, you keep saying that. I'm
They're gonna-
perplexed as to what you mean.
Them two are gonna stick a illithid spawn into my brain.
And you're choosing this.
I mean, I figured it'd be a wild ride.
Perhaps he has a brainworm already.
You know, that is a sound theory.
I have, I'm pretty sure if the seas haven't killed me, a little worm tadpole thing isn't gonna kill me either.
So we're trying to come up
Quite
with
sure I follow there.
we're trying to come up with ways to be able to counteract Kaleem with his psychic abilities, which I've actually, now that I think about it, and I reach into my bag and I'll pull out 4 potions of psychic resistance that I've made and have my little etching on there. I've made some potions for some of our people, but apparently we need more. So these two here are trying to give us ways to be able to counteract his psychic mumbo jumbo.
I see.
And apparently, a look into the brain is one way to do that, but I think they actually had a different strategy in mind for the rest of us.
I just wanted to go the faster route.
Well,
Speaking of, who would like a potion of psychic resistance out of here? I have 4. Alright, Flora gets one. 3 left. Yeah, 1 to you, because you don't have that. So, Molly will get 1. 2 more. I guess I'll hold on to 1. Last one?
Vaughn will
first?
probably take one. Nick's just not here.
Okay. Then I will give 1 to Bot. You can all add a potion of psychic resistance to your inventory.
you can remind Nick when he gets back.
Okay.
So she says, now that you're here, I was hoping, of course, you would at least stay for dinner, but I understand you have very pressing plans. So
I mean,
At
we
any
were
point in
doing this
time,
thing for like
as-
a couple of months. Does it really matter if we take 1 extra evening to have dinner?
Nord
I don't
says,
know, it's
yes,
not fun.
yes it
Cookies,
does.
it's fine.
We must begin your training immediately.
Hey, I can hear y'all. I'm just in those common areas, so I'm muting myself.
Okay.
Listen here, you angry dwarf. If there's free food, was not made on my ship or some fucked up tavern, then I think it is worth it. Because you want us to be strong and ready for our training, right? Then a good meal will get us there.
Carbs and protein.
You just hear him mutter under his breath, "There's rations back at the fortress."
Well, to be
Yes,
honest,
but good food is better for the body, mind, and soul.
while I completely agree with Raven, you are in Nightvine. There's probably some things that we can make use of here. I wasn't expecting to come back to my hometown anytime soon, but I mean, we could get components and things to make other potions, or who knows what. It's worth at least asking. Maybe we can even get some more information about Kaleem here. These
More
are some pretty
cookies.
powerful people.
She says to you, "Lucas, by the way, Arthur has taken over the alchemy shop."
Okay. Well, good for him.
Yes, well, he was always been a wild old fart, but he seems to be doing well there.
Kind of seems a
And
little weird that
plus-
he'd settled down, but I'm glad that he's making, he's growing.
Most of
I
us-
wouldn't say he's settled down. He's just used his escapades to fuel his business.
Ah.
It's very erratic hours, but if you can catch the shop open, I think you might find it worth a look.
And plus,
2:15 and 4 a.m.
listen, most of us just got done fighting a giant robot. Some of us need some sleep. It'd be good for us to have a night to settle down and recoup, and then we can start training first thing in the morning.
It's already morning. That means waiting another day.
Exactly, first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so just
Norn
a point
says-
of reference, sorry, the metagame. Y'all were only in the
Okay.
forest for a couple hours.
Again, first thing tomorrow morning.
Norn says, 2 hours. That's it.
Tomorrow
we go.
morning. Tomorrow
2
morning.
hours. Then we go.
Listen, you're getting angry. You need to breathe into your nose, out through your mouth. It's okay.
I just gotta hand him a blunt.
Here, take that. It'll calm you down a little bit. Smoke one of these. Just relax. We got some. Listen, I wouldn't mind doing some shopping in Nightvine. Listen, I know some other people wouldn't mind shopping in Nightvine.
While you're
Listen,
saying this, Miss Lily's grabbing a goblet. You see her hold up her hand, and like an icy chill comes off of it, and a few ice cubes form. She drops it in the goblet and starts pouring whiskey in the glass, and just begins sipping it.
see, we're just gonna enjoy ourselves tonight. You just need to relax. It's okay. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright.
It's always
Don't
gonna be
worry.
Nightvine.
Don't worry.
She
Be
says, and then
happy.
she says, "An evening's tranquil."
Don't worry. Be
So-
happy. See, we're being tranquil here. Great. So
Miss-
calm it down.
Miss Lily, do you know anything about dealing with psychic attacks or psychic abilities?
What I can tell you is that psionics, from what I've understood from my research, is that it is separate from the weave. Typically, no magics can protect you from psionics, simply because they are two different forces. It would be like trying to protect yourself from the rain with a mesh umbrella. It just simply wouldn't work. However, if you push magic a bit further, I found, you break past the weave.
No.
Into the astral, then into the far realm. Perhaps you might use magic to influence psionics.
So we have to push through so far beyond magic that we go into the realm of psionics?
Essentially, yes, that's an oversimplification. But leave it to be... Let it be said that I have begun doing my own research on this topic, and I do believe that it is beginning to bear fruit.
Well, on a separate topic, apparently it's Celestial, which seems to have a liking for me, and I'll take out my ivory wand. Apparently she passed this along to me.
Yes, Lashana. She's been expected back for several days now, and I don't know, we just haven't seen her. I don't believe it's cause for concern.
I think
And
she's
when
tied
Norn
up
just
with the
speaks
rest
up
of
and
her
just says,
guildmates. Isn't that right, Norn? Doing the Project Dawnspear thing?
yes, she is currently in Vel'Kalas. I don't know why she would promise herself to come here with her having full knowledge that her time would be occupied. But yes, she's currently at Fort Dawnspear, last I heard. The Heralds of Requiem,
Good. Go ahead and mute Brandon.
you want us to mute Brandon?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna drag him to another channel. It's the easiest
that
way to
works.
do that.
And Norn says the Heralds of Requiem, our dynamic is much different from what it once was. I'm sure it's come to your attention that you've never really seen all of us together. We all sort of operate as our own separate agents in a sense from time to time. It's rare for all 6 of us to be in the same place at once.
Y'all just not get along?
Not that. It's how do I put it? Our fame has grown beyond our capacity. We are needed in more places than we can be at once, and for that reason it is often commonplace that we split. That our attention is divided.
Okay. It's like the Avengers. You can't have them all in one same movie at the same time, constantly.
He scratches his head.
So I do
Miss
have
Lily doesn't.
one other thing, Miss Lily. So I've been tracking the Sword of Zariel as best I can, and I got clues saying that it's possibly in Hades with a hag. You know of any powerful hags in Hades? A night hag?
A night hag in Hades. There is one such night hag that does come to mind. So she calls herself the Black Broker. Her name is Jörg Dremal.
Yes, and I know that is spelt like.
I'll send you a message.
Just put it in the Instagram so we can all see it.
Okay. Let me type that out real quick.
Or you can just type.
So it's like one of those weird names that has no vowels.
I'm sure she's amazing at Scrabble.
She's made a niche for herself collecting odd and rare artifacts. As far as what her ultimate goal is, your guess is as good as mine. I could make several guesses. Perhaps she wishes to rule over Hades. Perhaps she wishes to conquer other realms on the outer plane, but she uses her influence and she uses her resources to make herself valuable in the outer planes. Individuals from the lower planes and the central planes often seek her out for artifacts that have been lost to time. Who knows what she might actually have in her possession? I've even heard that she might even have the Book of Vile Darkness. Granted, that is just rumor. The book written by Vecna himself. As far as whether that is true, it is hard to say whether she is actually in possession of it or if that is just a rumor that she has spread for the purpose of invoking fear.
Do I know what the Book of Vile Darkness is? That can be wrote by Vecna.
So the Book of Vile Darkness is a book that is as old as the world itself. What has come to be known, or at least what a lot of scholars believe, is that Alpharesk, the world you currently reside on, is actually the oldest world in the cosmos. And the Book of Vile Darkness is rumored to be as old as that. If not as old, almost as such. It has been contributed to by evil scholars over several millennia. But the one individual that has made the largest contribution to the Book of Vile Darkness, at least over half of the book, is Vecna himself. Vecna the Undying. The most powerful lich to ever have existed, and the only lich to ever raise himself to the point of divinity.
Alright, well, that's foreboding. So, do you know this black broker, or like is she someone that's usually open to negotiations, or if she does end up having the sword, is that going to be something that's going to have to come to blows?
It's hard to say. I do know that she has, and you know why, Lucas, has likely had ample opportunities to sell the sword. But as far as I understand, has likely had no reason, or has likely not sold it. So if she still has it in her possession, it's likely she wants it for something greater than simply a monetary benefit.
Yeah.
As you would know in the Blood Ward, the wielder of that sword, the one who possesses that sword, they have power. They have influence. There's reasons that demons and devils alike would wish to acquire the sword of Zariel.
Guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to Hades. You wouldn't happen to know a way to get into Hades, do you? I know, I'm sorry, it's been so long, and all I feel like I'm doing is just pushing you for information.
No, I understand. You have a very full plate. Trust me, I don't blame you. As far as how to get to Hades, we could always attempt to convince the council to simply provide you with a planar transport spell, but you know as well as I do that that is a very low likelihood of success.
I mean, I've kind of made a point of trying to earn my way so far, as best I can, so I don't want anything for free.
I will see what I can do. On your behalf, I will attempt to see if I can secure you passage to Hades.
Well, I don't think that's something that we need to do immediate. I mean, I'm pretty sure Norn's gonna have conniption fed if we try and take a detour to Hades.
You can see he's already looking like he's getting red in the face.
He's gonna stroke out before we even leave. I cast CTFD on Norn.
She says she puts a hand on your. She kind of just reaches across the table and puts a hand on your forearm. I'm gonna see what I can do. If I cannot get the council to provide you with passage, I will find a way to get you there myself.
Thank you. And I'll just kind of lean in. Speaking of, while we, I guess, see what the town might have in stock, can you give Norn a little something to bring him down a little bit?
Without even looking at him, she takes the bottle that she just poured the whiskey from and uses a mage hand and just picks it up and places the bottle of whiskey in front of him.
That'll work.
It gives you a little wink.
Thank you. For everything. Truly.
It is not a problem. Now, the meal should be ready shortly, as you see her stand up and she walks over to the wall and picks up this guitar, and without even stopping talking, just starts gently strumming the guitar. No song in particular, just some chords and a nice tranquil melody. In fact, I had a song picked out for that. Music change.
Well, do we want to see if Arthur has anything in stock before dinner, or are we waiting until after, or?
You have time, if you would like.
I mean, I can show you guys around town if you'd like, now that I'm not in a robot or a frog goop, so...
And she's just, like, literally playing the song that you're hearing right now as you're talking.
She's so cool, man. But what would you guys like to do?
I don't mind getting a tour of your hometown.
Sure. Well, I guess I'll show him the ropes here.
Of course,
For dinner.
it shouldn't take more than an hour, but you have time.
All right. Yeah, follow me, and I'll kind of take everybody on out.
Field trip.
But as I go, I just jump off the deck, and then you can just literally grab a vine from the tree and just like swing down.
Stairs.
As you step out, by the way, Molly, you feel a large frog tongue close around your body and lift you off the ground.
Good kitty.
Pogo! Pogo!
And then he suddenly just slurps Molly into his mouth.
Bro.
I
Gives
start
you a light-
tickling him.
Gives you a light chew, not enough to hurt, and then just... And without saying a word, jumps back into the water.
Yeah, prestidigitation. You get used to it. Not really, but a little. Alright, so this way. But please stay with me. The paths do continue to shift, even inside the town. Not enough to get you into anywhere dangerous, but it is easy to get turned around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like this close to Lucas at this point. You're like,
And I'm like right behind Molly. Right behind her.
I just imagine it's like whenever you're like in grade school and everybody's like taking a trip to the bathroom, so they're like, alright, form a line, hold on to your buddy.
Yeah. So there's
Doesn't
only
like-
really, like, 3 stores in Nightvine, and only 2 that are really worth visiting. There's a magic shop where they sell magical goods. There's a potion shop, and then there's what most people will consider to be like a makeshift grocery store / dining area, but it's
Well,
there's
I'll
nothing
kinda
fancy.
Show them around. So,
flea market.
alright, yeah, again, we don't get a lot of tourists or anything in here. But like as you come around, you can see. I mean, there's still things here. Like it's houses and whatnot. Most of them you can. Oh, hey, how's it going? And I'm kind of just waving to people as we come in. Not a ton of people, but still.
Hello, Lucas, as you just hear, like, recognition every time you... Like you never left.
Yeah, I mean, witches kind of come and go. It's not really unheard of for us to be gone for extended periods of time. It's also hard to keep track of the days, sort of, since there's no
Day.
sun. But yeah, I'll take them. Like, I'll show them the building. This is where the elders usually come into for council. They usually have someone come out as the speaker to talk to everyone, just to announce. Since it's not supposed to be known who the elders are, but I'm pretty sure Miss Lily is. But she doesn't really care.
Makes sense.
You also have your suspicions that, Lashana might be one of them too, the Celestial Witch. But again, nobody really knows.
I'm trying to remember, what's the name of the oldest witch ever? I keep thinking Baba Ganoush, and it's not that.
Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
There's a statue in the middle here, of a woman-ish figure, but the features are not exactly defined, and it's supposed to be. This is actually kind of a mini shrine to Baba Ganoush, Baba Yaga, but she's like right in front of a cauldron. But yeah, again, it's a small town. There's only a couple hundred people here at any given time, and I'll guide them over to the shop.
All right. And you just see a shop. I mean, no fancy name. It's just Nightvine Herbology.
Yeah, let's go on in.
begin hearing a buzzing noise as you approach the shop.
Hey, Arthur, you in here?
You come in. It's unlocked.
Welcome to the party, Marte.
Hey,
Hello.
Marte.
What's up?
You're in Nightvine, doing Nightvine things with Nightvine people.
Very
Oh, it's
nice.
not a hentai.
But no, yeah. No hentai.
I mean, it's not a hentai unless you want it to be, but I don't know.
Pretty sure you didn't write a script for
Okay.
that one, buddy.
No, I did not write a script for that one.
Centered around Bigsby's hand.
But you made it just in time for some light shopping. Hopefully this doesn't go on for a long time, but
I'm very tired.
yeah.
Hey, Arthur, I got some visitors here. I'd like to check out your wares. You got anything new, good,
Be
interesting?
right back.
Hear him just say, "Jeffrey, get the door!" As you hear this buzzing sound, and this door just gets open with a bit too much force. As you see one of those large beetles that you encountered in the forest just pull the door open. And when you enter the place, it's chaotic. You of course see this one large, like, giant horned beetle in front of you, but then there's a bunch of like puppy-sized smaller ones, like the size of like a football, that are just flittering around the place. They're knocking shit off of counters. They're landing on, like, they're all over the walls. This place is just full of bugs.
Yeah, I heard you're opening up a shop. It definitely has your personal touch to it.
What can I say? I prefer the company of many. Anyway, welcome. I am Arthur Opod. It's a pleasure. Good to see you, Lucas. Glad you're back. This is an elderly gnome individual with, like, short white hair, a long, like, curly white mustache, and a little on the heftier side for a gnome. Like, he just kind of looks like a big bowling ball. And he's riding on top of this giant winged horned beetle. This, like, with, like, this rainbow pattern to its carapace. Looks like he doesn't like to walk.
Yay, lazy people.
I am Arthropod, the Garib witch. Take a look around.
We can
Here,
take a look
sweetings,
around.
off the walls, off the walls, off the walls. He starts clapping his hands, and all these beetles come over to him. One, like, lands on his shoulders. Other ones land on top of this little giant horned beetle that he's riding on top of.
I like to imagine that we just, like, walked in on a rug, and then the rug just starts to move.
So what kind of shop is this? Sorry, I had to step out to do a job thing.
I'm the new herbologist.
Oh, about okay.
Yeah,
Well,
let's show me what you got, Arthur.
I will share the parcel.
I'm just trying to pet the shiny ones.
Full disclosure,
They're
I'll
all
send it to the
shiny.
group. I have. Do I have any money? I don't think I have any money. Oh no, I do have some money.
So is that 30 grams or 30 ounces?
Yeah, that's
that
my
is
question.
30. So that's 3 pounds, is what that is. Each one is 1/10 of a pound, so that would be
All of
30
it.
or 3 pounds.
How much for all your cannabis?
That'll be 60 gold pieces.
Done.
Hands over the gold.
What are you talking about? You're not paying for this. Go away. No.
Why not?
Bad.
Why?
Flicks on the nose. No.
This is like, all right, if you're buying this is like a giant bag of weed. Like,
We have a bag
picture
of
like a
holding.
bag of soil that you would get from, like, Home Depot. It's
It's
like
a
the same
35-pound
size
bag
of
of
that.
soil.
Yeah, I'm putting it in my second bag of holding.
Okay, this is 3 pounds of weed. So,
Okay, cool. I don't care, dude. I really don't
Backpack,
care. I
I
have
got
2
it.
bags of holding.
All right, there you go. Drag it to your inventory. He says, "I see you. You keep interesting company, Lucas." As he just kind of winks in your direction.
Hmm.
How much for the potion
Those
of...
night divine leaves.
Exactly. Animal friendship.
Oh, the potion of animal friendship. That will be 100 gold pieces.
How much for your potions of watchful rest?
A potion of watchful rest. That is 50 gold pieces. For one.
For one? Okay. I don't know if anybody else wants one of those, but I want two.
He takes a look at you and says, "Elf?" Almost trying to guess.
Draconic.
Do you sleep?
No.
Then this won't work on you.
Oh. Well, okay. That's not alright.
What is it?
No,
The
we're
potion of it basically lets you skip a long rest, but still get the full benefits of it.
How much are those?
50 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'll take both of them. Fuck it.
There's
There's
3
of them.
Oh, I'll take 3 of them. Fuck it. Well, unless someone else wanted it. But I'll just buy them, and if anybody else wants one, they can have it.
150 gold for those.
So I want lots of stuff from this guy. I'll go and take the Theki root because that's super cheap. I'll take all of it. That's 9 gold. It looks like.
Okay.
All right. This is.
Any money? I think
you
I
do.
have some money. Did we get any additional monies
No.
in my time
no.
while I was gone?
No.
Not
We're
even
still
a little
broke.
bit.
Was
We're
that
still
all a
broke.
dream?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're all broke.
Oh,
It was not a dream, but no.
How much is a potion of maximum power?
The potion of maximum power, that is 500 gold pieces.
Each?
wow! I am poor.
No,
we
for
just
the
got
bunch.
done
500
shopping.
gold pieces for the bunch,
Okay.
if you would like both of them. 300 gold pieces for one, 200 if you buy a second.
My
how
Did I
much
have to get
for-
those things
oh,
put in my
Miles'
inventory?
Hey Nick, look at the oil of Taggett.
I tell
Actually
you-
meant to add more than one of those.
I tell you what.
Yeah, look.
I don't have enough to be able to buy the malice, but could you sell me the components to make it?
What are the malice?
Components to make it.
I have 200.
Lucas,
So
I can give you the gold.
the components to make malice,
I
you
would
need
really
Nightshade.
like to get the potions of maximum power, but that's 500 gold. I don't. I have 180 gold.
So to make malice, you need
I give them 400.
You need Dragon's Breath chilies. You need Nightshade, sterile water. Oh, and what is the last one? What is
So,
the?
did you say
Yes, a
Dragon's
scarab wing.
Lilies?
Dragon's
Dragon's
Breath.
Breath chilies.
Ch- Alright.
As in, not like the chili, like the type of stew that you make, but as in a chili, as in a kind of plant.
So the
Pepper.
so I have a question. The Magitoad Ichor, will I turn into a toad?
Not completely.
Will I have any toad-like features?
Not
Yes, you will.
completely.
Like,
Not forever.
You're over encumbered.
Hey, question. Can the oil of Taggett be implemented into a weapon or bullets?
Well, it requires contact. So, seeing as how a bullet, I would imagine, contacts, he motions
Okay.
almost sarcastically. I would say yes.
Okay. I'll take Is that 400 gold for the both of them, or
Or
400
one
gold
of
for
them.
one of them? One of them. You
I
know
told you to
what?
take a look at it. I didn't say you could afford it.
Oh shit! I got 1,800. Afford it?
Oh, so
Bruh.
big balling. Excuse me.
Come on.
Oh,
I'm
excuse
already
me.
handing off. 400 to Lucas. He can have it. Bug it.
Well,
I'm not keeping track of all this math. I'm just assuming you guys are doing the math right yourself.
I'm just
And
making
I
sure
trust you
Lucas
guys, so-
heard.
And
I'm
Okay.
just
Adon is
making
over
sure
here
Lucas
being poor.
heard that.
So
I trust you guys not to cheat the system, so.
I would honestly really like. I think it'd be better also
Potentially.
if we got the Marusa bomb, which is good stuff to make, but that gives us fire resistance because Kaleem is all about psychic and fire damage. So I can make potions of psychic resistance. I don't have anything to make anything for fire resistance currently.
Yes, the
You know,
Marusa Balm, that's quite... It's great for a long day on the beach, or a fight against a dragon.
So what'd you say? If I buy the lot, the
100.
oil of Taggett, one potion of oil of Taggett, one potion of what was the one you want, Lucas?
The
Maximum power.
Yeah, the potions of maximum power for sure. That would be huge.
And then both of the what is it?
Marusa bomb?
The
Was what it
yeah,
was.
of the bomb thing. That thing. What'd you say? Would you give me a discount for buying all those three as a collective?
That's...
It's quite
Why?
a few potions of yours. Why?
People
Why
come
not?
in here and buy potions all the time.
Yes, but I am buying a bulk of them. They're very they're very high priced
I sell
items.
I sell
And
bulk
also
price
'cause you're
potions all the
nice.
time.
Mm.
What reason do you have for why I should give you a discount?
Stuff we run with one of the witches.
Yeah, but he has
I-
wishes coming here all the time.
I know hundreds of witches. Should I give all of them discounts too?
And, well, that's true.
No offense, Lucas. You're great, but
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, you don't have to be a hard ass about it.
Well, he
I'm
drives
just
a hard bargain.
I'm just a humble gnome trying to do business. I will let you make a persuasion check, but you're not gonna have like advantage or anything on it.
How about I throw in a C4 piece, and I tell him you're a gnome, you like tinkering with things. What do you think of this? And I throw him like a C4.
He says, first off, that's racist.
I don't throw it to him.
But
Well, sorry for my assumption, but
I'm not good at it.
Yeah, you might be able to help
my
them out.
my hobby is magic. I don't venture too
Okay.
much into technology.
okay. Well, you know what? The persuasion check. Let me see. Let's see what I get on this. Hopefully, I think this is it. Charisma. At least I don't have a too bad. Wow, no.
He says, "Look, if I gave a discount to everybody that came in here and asked for a discount, I wouldn't be able to run a business."
True. Very, very enough. Well, how much for the lot of them? How much for all of those? For those
Nick,
4
what-
potions?
So list them to me again. You want the 2 potions of maximum power, right?
One potion. Or wait, yeah. Did you say 400 for all
it's
of them?
500 for
from?
2 potions of maximum power total.
Yep.
All
All of them.
And then what else? The oil of Taggett.
The one oil of Taggett,
And then the 2 Marusa
and then 2 of the Musha bomb.
So that brings you to 1,100 gold pieces.
Yeah, I give
Perhaps
it to him.
you have something for trade, perhaps? Here, I mean,
trade.
we will make use of gold at some point in time, but goods here are just as valuable, if not more so, than any money.
How about a sun bomb?
Yeah, I was just going to. I have. And I'm fumbling with it in my hands.
Yeah, not really sure I have much use for explosives.
How about some holy water?
I have
Holy
a-
water. You see his eyebrow perk up a little bit. You have holy water. We can use that.
Well,
I have one as well.
if you want that, I happen to have something a vampire left behind. I'll pull up my bottle of vampiric gas.
I also have a pixie.
His eyes get big and he flutters towards you. He like snatches the vial out of your hand. He does a straight up like he does like a grabs it out of your hand, looks at it. Ding, 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 ding. How much for the vampiric gas?
1,000.
Okay, that's a little greedy of you there.
Break even.
How about 500?
I'll give you 300 for the vampiric gas.
Make it 4.
But this is not
350.
something you come across
4.
every day.
390.
4. That's my
How
final.
about this? Why don't we do 350 off? But why don't you go ahead and throw in some stuff for I can be able to make some malice.
You have a deal. As he just sort of starts giggling. Jeffrey, lower me! As this beetle just kind of drops to the ground and he puts it under the counter. Then he gets back up. And he's in his hand, you see he's holding these tiny little brown peppers. Each one is like maybe the size of like this tin here. There's 4 of these. You need it to make 1 dose of malice. As well as he hands these little, like, he sprinkles these little flower petals into your hand. This is Nightshade. And imbue that with a little bit of your magic in the potion making process. Of course, low heat for about an hour. Though I'd raise it to a high heat for about the last couple of minutes or so. It makes it more potent.
And I believe I needed some scarab wings.
He just reaches down, hold still, Jeffrey, and just you see the scarab just kind of wince for a second as he hands you just like a little fragment of wing about that big. This should do it.
All right, so he's only giving me enough to be able to make 1.
Yes. Well, that's going to depend on your rolls. The skill of the alchemist.
Inventory I read. I got 4 dragon
So
breath
you've
chili.
got 4 dragon's breath chilies. You have about a handful of nightshade petals, and you've got about a 1/4 pound little chunk of scarab wing.
You do not use consistent measurements ever. I got pinches of this, a 1/4 pound of this, a handful of this.
All right, let's say an ounce of nightshade. We'll say an ounce.
Can we go with metric? I mean, come on, we're both in medical field. How many milligrams of nightshade?
Listen, you know what? That's
How many
Gavin's
cc's?
specialty. It's Gavin's specialty to be consistently inconsistent.
All right, I got sure 4. Okay, cool. So that brings the total because it was 1,100 minus 350. So we owe him 750 for this.
You owe him 750, yes.
I can kick
750
in.
for the potions.
Oh, that's right. You want the holy water too.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
holy water.
so the
There's
holy
2
water, he takes
2 vials.
2 vials, well, flasks of holy water is, I think, how it's measured.
Yeah, whatever.
Can
So
I
for
chime
those
in
2
on this?
vials, you may, if you would like.
I just want to kind of walk up to him, kind of within earshot, because I don't want this to be, everybody to hear. Does that potion of prevention really work? Can it get rid of anything?
Well, from what I understand, yes, it can. And he gives you a little wink.
You know, even the really, really bad ones.
The bad ones, yes.
Yeah, like those
I have-
fiery ones.
I
You know what
have
I'm
some
saying?
patrons who come in on a regular basis to buy my potions of prevention.
Okay. 'Cause it's like a volcano sometimes, dude. I'm just telling you.
Not sure I needed the descriptors.
And I can change genders at will. I know what I'm doing.
So you're getting close enough to whisper this, right? You're getting close enough to whisper this, right?
Yes.
So, riding this giant scarab, he has about a foot or two on you, but you can still he leans down, and then when you get close enough to whisper, he recognizes something. You see his eyes get big, and he goes, "You're of old! You're of old! I don't think I've ever met one before. Tell me,
Yeah.
can you do the thing with your wrist? Show me the thing with your wrist."
Hey, don't show him, don't show him yet. No,
I
I'm
will
kidding.
do both wrists if you give me this potion and pretend like I wasn't here. Because, like, in fact, I'll even make them, squirt a little bit for you. I just,
Not
I really need
necessary
this.
that part. Show me your wrist. And this is a weird experience for you because he's not approaching you with distrust or horror. He's fascinated.
Can you help me with the potion? Because, Volds have these, and Volds can get other things too, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, my curiosity's gotten the better of me. Show me your wrists and I'll give you the potion.
Okay, we'll take it a deal. So I'll walk over to him, and I'll just kind of let him inch their way out. Let him look at
Cackles like. Now, I don't. Forgive me for asking. I suppose I could have some of your spinal fluid.
I mean, I've given a lot more other fluid type stuff. I mean, I guess it's not a real request.
He pulls out this giant needle from under the counter. Can I please?
Give me the potion. I'll give you the potion.
Okay, here you go. All right.
Okay. Here you go for it.
right,
Are
hold still.
are you docking my spine?
You're gonna feel a little stick.
Oh. Oh. This usually happens the other way around.
Worst case scenario, he's just paralyzed for life. It's just a light little lummy puncture.
He pulls back and there's this yellow fluid, and well, that's your spinal fluid.
My spine goes limp.
You take 1 piercing damage, by the way.
Fine. I'm gonna retract it. Oh, gracious. Ow. I'm gonna put the other one back in before he gets any ideas. And appreciate the potion, bud. I'm gonna stick it in there.
For that,
One last
Just to
request.
clarify, we were all just standing there watching this happen.
Yes.
Friend, one last request. Your name's what was your name? I don't think I got it. I'm sorry.
Anand.
So, one last request, and bear
What?
with me. I've heard, it's just a rumor, that Vold can regrow their wrist spines.
No, that's not accurate at all. We don't regrow anything. It
You
hurt.
don't?
No, we don't do that.
Then
I can
okay,
regrow some hair, but not those. And
then
I look over at Lucas and I'm like, help me.
What would I have to pay?
Anon, can you come with me? I think I saw some mana crystals outside.
Well, for real, dude. And I'm
just
Misty
gonna
stepping
throw
outside.
anyways, since with these two things of holy water, and of course you got my friend's spinal fluids, how much does that bring the potions to?
I'll give them to you for 600, I suppose.
Deal. And I give him
I'll lean
600.
in. Can't make any promises, but I might be able to get you some, maybe a spike if it drops on the battlefield later on. But no promises.
Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you.
Let's say
You're always
500.
so reliable, Lucas. I said
Let's say
600.
500. Well, we are gonna go fight the Primal Void later, so we could work out a deal where we get you Primal Void parts.
And
Wait,
if
we're fighting a primal void?
And if you bring those
Eventually.
back to me, I will make sure you are handsomely rewarded.
Ooh,
Okay.
boy. I just
Oh, all
accidentally
right, well-
ordered Krispy Kreme.
Oh, 600 is fine
And
with
don't
me.
you hate it when you accidentally drive to Taco Bell and order dinner
So,
there? Don't you hate
I'm
it when
not
that happens?
I'm not giving Lucas 400. I'm just
Okay.
paying the 600 for the potions and then giving Lucas the potion that he wants.
So Lucas can keep his money. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Oh.
I keep my money. Pay
He was going
him.
to give me
what I
money
was gonna
to
give-
to
yeah.
him, so he's just paying him, and I haven't changed my money at all.
Ooh, boy.
Okay.
So I got
So-
2 things of Marusa Bomb and 2 things of Maximum Power.
Yes. Drag
And I
them to
think-
your inventory from the parcel. If you don't drag it, you don't have them.
Got it.
So, what are the other potions that I bought? 2 potions of the.
So 2
or-
potions of maximum power. You
Yep.
got an
or
oil
one,
of Taggart.
Yeah, yep. An
Or
oil
one
of Taggart.
Yeah, the oil of Taggart. And
I'll put that in there. And then the ones that don't allow me to not to rest or whatnot.
the potions of watchful rest. Yes.
Watchful rest. That's right. I need to
Yeah.
add those into.
That's right, because you're only a half elf.
Yeah.
So
take
I have one
those.
other potion I'd like for you to look at, and then I'll let you go on your way. Have you ever heard of a potion of the mimic?
Yes.
It lets
kinda-
you turn into an object.
I pull out the freaking sword of the mimic.
Yes, that's a nice blade. So
I change it to a short sword.
yes, that's a nice trick. Potion of the mimic.
I don't need your mimic.
Yes.
I'm gonna stick my head in the door. Somebody grab that for me. I'm poor.
How much is it?
500 gold pieces.
Nope.
Holy shit!
Nope. Sorry, not doing it.
I mean,
Okay.
sorry, Arthur, but we just spent a bunch of money on. You basically tapped us out on everything else.
Literally.
I stick my arm in the door and I show him the other spike and let it drip a bit.
Like, literally tapped him out
Like,
of
legit.
final fluid.
Man, I've got the sauce.
He says, "Oh well, maybe another time," and he puts it back under the counter.
All right.
Oh, feel violated.
Well,
You
there's
should.
other shops that we need to get back for dinner, so let's. I mean, I've heard things costing an arm and a leg. I've never heard it costing spinal fluid before.
Why is my spinal fluid yellow? Do I have a problem? I thought it was supposed to be blue. What? It's supposed to be blue. Mana's blue.
I need to get
What kind of
that checked
mana's
out.
yellow? Like, do I have
You don't know.
like spinal jaundice?
Turns out it's pee. Oh.
Oh.
As he says
Uh,
that, Lucas just like and sneezes, and then there's a bunch of yellow, greenish ichor that comes out from his time as a
Oh.
robot. Like,
Oh.
I think me and you might have issues.
No, crud.
Hey, you did get the power, the max power
Potion
potion,
of
right,
power.
Lucas?
Yeah, I got 2
Yeah.
of them. So
Okay,
good.
cool. I just want to make sure you got.
Yeah.
Let's go to
So,
time to go
Lucas.
to dinner.
Well,
the
we got
last shop
one other shop.
is so the last shop is the it's the magicology shop. It's ran by a witch whose name is Aerith Dyer, and she is the darkened witch is what her title typically is.
What was her
And
name?
it's very obvious upon meeting her why that is.
Why?
What was her name?
Aerith, Aerith. Last name is Dyer, Dyer.
That's awfully close to Aerith. I'm making a
I
joke.
mean, maybe.
Maybe.
Does she get impaled?
I don't know. I mean,
You haven't made your persuasion check yet.
right.
Yeah.
Alright, then I guess
go
we're
on
going
in.
to the other shop.
We can pop in right here, real quick before dinner.
Yeah. So you walk into this shop, and it's this, like, black shack. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's
A black
faint
shack,
and
Dr.
unassuming.
Seuss.
It's a regular. It's like a rectangular building that is solid black, with just like uneven, badly painted stripes of red at random locations across the exterior of this shack.
Hello.
Come in.
Hey, an evening's tranquil to you.
Evening's tranquil, Lucas. As you walk in and you see this, like, really, like, absurdly pale, like, human female. She's got, like, her eyeliner is, like, way too dark. She has, like, long, solid black hair. She's wearing just solid black robes. She's carrying, like, this staff that has, like, spikes and stuff all over it. You see there's, like, skulls on the wall. There's, like, a dragon head rug on the ground. She basically just looks like a goth chick.
I think she needs to get laid.
Come in, come in, come in. Hello, Lucas. Evening's tranquil. How can I help you?
Well, we got some of my friends here, just new to town, and I was trying to kind of just show them a few things and maybe get some supplies while we're in here.
Evening's tranquil. Welcome to my shop.
Evening's tranquil to you too.
Again.
Feel free to look around, I guess, if you want. Sure.
We do. That's why we.
Sweetheart,
came
are
in
you-
here. Are you
Sweetheart,
okay?
are you okay?
Yes, I'm great. I'm quite happy.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm doing
'Cause
fine.
Last
How are
time
you
I looked
doing?
last time I looked like that, I spent 6 months on the sea.
Sounds nice.
Not really.
Hmm.
Not.
Welcome.
Ah.
Is there
So,
anything I
what-
can do for you?
what you got?
You know, a little bit of this, some of that. What do any of us really have when you actually look at it?
Well, I have a lot. I have my compatriots, a cute little fox near me.
Sounds nice. Yeah.
You sound like you're dead.
Are any of us really truly living?
Well, I'll let you know.
Don't email.
Well, I have scrolls and I have wands. If you wanna look, I guess.
Do you have any scrolls of rope trick?
No, don't have any of those.
Oh,
Witches can't cast rope trick, so I don't really, not really any point.
You got two things on here. I don't know if they're just not identified. It's an expensive scroll and an outstanding scroll. Unless they're just high-end
Crap!
scrolls.
I let some scrolls slip through the cracks. I thought I identified all of them.
how much is the wand of smiles?
Yeah, can we just give
That-
it to her for a second? Damn.
I mean, hold on. I will answer that in a second. I'm trying to figure out what I didn't. There we go. There's one of them. There's another. Is there anything not identified anymore? I think that's everything.
Anand, tell me what you want so we can discuss this.
The Wand of Smiles, that's... Yeah, it's just 100 gold pieces if you want it. Don't use it on
Let
me.
me look. I already
can't
have
I-
an adventurer's wand. That's nice.
Why can't I use it on you?
I don't like being made to do anything.
You don't want to smile?
I mean, smiling's fine. I'm smiling right now.
On the inside.
Physically or mentally?
I mean, does it really matter?
It does matter. The world's not ending. No one's dying. You should be happy.
I'm very happy.
So,
Can't you tell?
how much?
No, I
That-
can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That scroll of
Oh,
modified
wow.
memory is pretty cool.
Bond walks out.
Can't have too many edgelords in one room.
I follow out as I'm
Yeah, I'm
doing so. I'm
walking
digging
out.
through my bag.
There's so much edgelord there. I'm walking out.
Like, I'm gonna go in there and scowl at her and try to match her energy. Ugh.
That's not a battle you can win.
Are you dark and
On the-
misunderstood as well?
Do
On the way
do
out,
any of
I
us
just
really
let
understand
Anon
anything?
know.
I guess not. But I bet you've never heard of any of the bands that I listen to.
I
There's
bet
a-
your bands are too mainstream. She doesn't say that.
The demonic bards.
So I will take. How much is the adventurer's wand?
Oh, I mean, if you want that, that'll just be 200 gold pieces.
Anon's like, you want it. You want that.
I can't do that, but I can do 150.
I mean, do you want me to starve? Do you want me to die? Is that what you want?
You want to starve?
I don't know. I mean, aren't we all sort of starving in our own way?
No. Well, I'm starved
God.
for the adventurer's wand, but that's as far as that goes. Aerith, come on.
Make a persuasion check.
It's great. This is fucking phenomenal.
I mean, it's only 50 gold pieces. I mean, what really is 50 gold worth? I mean, not much when you really think about it.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll even add a little bit. Actually, let me see if I can do this. I will give you what I have. I have 181 gold. If you can throw in a scroll of catapult with that, it's
A scroll of catapult. Well, I mean, yeah, I can do that.
all right.
That Wanda smiles. I could use that in a very menacing way.
Okay, I will take the adventurer's wand and the scroll of catapult, and I have 0 monies again.
You have 1 gold. She's charging you 180 for it.
Okay.
How much is the Wand of Smiles?
Oh, that old thing. If you really want it, I guess I'll give it to you for 100.
Hey, Bon.
I give him 100.
Appreciate that.
Also, no, I don't forget.
Dude, I am financing this team, alright?
Thank God we have a rogue with sticky fingers.
Yeah. I'm like, I got that drip if you need it. So yeah, can I have the wand, please?
Everybody was like, "Oh, Bond stealing, Bond stealing, Bond stealing." But anytime y'all want money, y'all are like, "Hey, Bond."
I have never once complained for you
buddy.
stealing. I always give you an escape route.
Back,
Listen,
back.
I
Okay, I'll
think
give you that one.
I'm the last escape route.
All right.
She says,
that
yeah,
one.
if it's right there. As you see, literally just this wand on the wall with like this. It's so weird seeing it in contrast to the rest of this place because it's just got this big yellow, obnoxious, cheery smiley face on the at the base of this wand, and then you're just surrounded by darkness. So, yeah, she just uses, not even bothered to get up. She uses a mage hand and just like drops it. I mess that up sometimes. As you notice, like the first hint of emotion for her, as like she's subconscious about her mage hand. I don't know.
Dinner?
Yeah,
Everybody ready for dinner?
Yeah, I'm ready for
dinner.
dinner for sure.
Bond's just looking at his pouch like, man, I need more money as he's counting like 100 and, or 1,100
Just
Nice.
don't steal here.
Hey,
I don't care if you steal anywhere else. Just don't steal
Don't
here.
steal here.
hey, Marte, did you take a look at those scrolls? I'm not sure if you wanted any of them, but
I can't afford any of them. I've already. I have 26 gold, my man.
okay. You do have a group bag of holding.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
We'll stop back by. Are we walking out now?
Yeah, we're gonna get dinner.
Okay. As we're walking out, I'm gonna be like, "This wand is freaking awesome," and I'm gonna cast smile on her.
Okay. She has
She said
charisma
specifically not to
saving
cast it on
throw.
her. Oh my Jesus.
So when you do, and this is like the most painful expression ever. Like it works, but it's like a.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
great.
the fakest smile, unemotional smile
Brighten
in
your
the
day.
world.
It's one of those. Looks like she wants to eat you, not smile.
She literally has to hold it for a full minute.
She's just. I mean, it's literally. Like that's what her smile looks like.
I didn't use it on you.
Dinner. Let's. All right. Evening's tranquil. Aerith.
Evenings
Keep things-
tranquil, everybody.
You have nice teeth.
Thank you. I work very hard on my dental hygiene.
Yeah, but yet doesn't show it.
Uh,
Oh my god. Maybe I
Quality.
shouldn't have bought you that.
All right,
Oh.
so
Guide
dinner.
everyone back to Miss Lily's place.
I'm just gonna type one more thing, just so it's remains obvious what her title is. Aerith Dyer, the Darkened Witch. So, all right. And her last name is very intentional. All right.
All right.
So
Did
you make
dinner.
your way back, and Pogo actually doesn't bother you. He's appears to be munching on some kind of giant insect. So he's just like his back is turned as his attention isn't on you. So you make your way into Miss Lily's home, and you're once again greeted by the beautiful music that you currently hear. As she's just sitting in a recliner with just like a pipe in her mouth as she's just gently strumming on the guitar as you see a cauldron sort of stirring itself.
Well,
She's like, "You got back just in time.
yeah,
I assume your shopping endeavors were fruitful?"
Yeah, I've never seen Aerith happier.
I know. Isn't she just a ray of sunshine?
Yeah, especially with the wand of smiles.
She smirks. You use the wand of smiles on her.
Anon did.
She says, "How long ago did you use it?"
We just
Less
came
than
from
a
place.
She sets her guitar down calmly. One moment. Disappears. Then pops back in. That is quality.
Right?
Oh, gee.
absolute quality.
Man.
And
This
how's
place.
Mr. Norn
Please. You know, this place, it's not that bad. It's really not. As you notice several empty bottles next to him. You know, I could I think I might try to start a vacation home here. I think that sounds like a great idea.
Hey, I told
Yeah,
you what a couple of
good
hours
luck
of
with
rest would
that.
do for you, right? Am I right?
You know, it's time to rest these old weary bones.
I'm gonna grab the bottle out of his hand and chug it as
There's
fast
nothing
as I can.
left. You get
Oh.
a sip.
Gavin,
Oh yeah?
I need you.
Oh, thank you.
Is
I
there
have
any
had
more?
dinner
Is,
brought to
any,
me.
is there any more of this where that came from?
your road got you.
She
Your
said,
road
"There's
got you.
more in the cupboard."
I'm gonna go grab like 4 bottles
Okay.
and start popping tops and just start drinking.
We're about
Norn
to have
says,
dinner.
"You know, we
Pace
still have
yourself."
training later, so just remember that."
Listen, I've been drunk on a ship and still fought just fine. I'm gonna drink. And I'm chugging these bottles.
What he doesn't tell you, if I wasn't there, he probably would be dead. She tells you.
Excuse me, but I've outdrank you multiple times, the young one.
Yes, Captain, you have drank me, but you have not outfought me, sir. ma'am.
Well, here's the thing. You're ranged and I'm close. You'd be better at a gunfight, and I'd be better at kicking your ass. So, to that,
I'll
I
drink
throw,
to that.
I throw a bottle in his chest. We drink.
Come by.
For an hour or two, you have a good time. You have some drinks. It's nothing special. It's just some like some fried green, some kind of root she probably just cooked up that she found. I mean, she probably grows it. A little bit of stew with like some wild game. Nothing too fancy, but it's nice.
Drink's a drink.
So, and the hours pass, and she says, "Well, I suppose I guess it's time. Lucas, it is always so good to see you."
Of course.
As she embraces you, puts her guitar down, and which she hasn't really stopped playing. Like she's just, again, she likes just keeping it around, strumming on it, All right, I suppose I guess we should go.
So
Where are we
just to
going?
clarify, I'm going to take all these drunk skunks back through the forest.
I mean, I'm going with you. I'm
Okay.
helping you
I'm not
leave.
drunk.
And hold on. She is high, and I'm drunk. But I'm not that drunk. I can still navigate myself. Thank you very
what
much.
about Norn?
I'm fine. I'm good.
All right. As long as y'all actually stay with us, we'll be
Listen.
fine. By
Listen,
the way,
I'm a pro.
where did Trip go when we got here?
I believe he's likely already had an earful from Tresmine.
Okay. Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure you got home okay. You seemed pretty hurt. Actually, I wouldn't know that. I was unconscious. Never mind.
His attention was demanded elsewhere, and as well as your friend Nixry. While you were gone, I helped her leave. She wanted to go. She said she needed to make preparations. I don't know, but I helped her leave.
Hey, well, we should go. She has my brain worm.
Of course.
Then let's...
Good luck in that, by the way.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Or you won't, but I hope that you do.
In this life or the next.
So, you depart, and Pogo, of course, he gives you a very warm departure. As you approach the edge of the forest, she says, "As always, Lucas, an evening's tranquil to you."
Evening's tranquil. You be safe, Miss Ellie.
You too, and I'll see you soon, okay? We can't let it go as long as it's been, again.
Absolutely.
And suddenly the sky begins to darken. You begin to hear the sound of rushing winds as this sort of like orb of storms encompasses her before she lifts off the ground and disappears behind the skyline. Or behind the tree line, I mean. And you're about a single step from the edge of Nightvine Forest, so you can very easily just make your way out.
Yeah, I stepped 5 steps back into the. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just kidding.
Gonna go through another 2 sessions of getting lost.
Take it over again. Did you see this giant robot? Nah, fuck that. Okay. Yeah, we'll get on back to where we're going.
Okay.
Back to our usually scheduled program.
I'll be right back.
Or not.
All right.
Or not.
Yeah, so you guys actually made it through here on your own. Not bad.
Yep.
I made
You know,
bug
actually,
friends.
I did not get hurt at all in that entire endeavor. I got enwitched by a stupid plant, but not hurt.
Right now, a lot of people used to get lost in there for days if they didn't even make it out at all.
Yeah, I realized that, and I heightened my senses. I definitely focused a lot on my surroundings.
So, at this moment, after you've left the forest, you take notice of Norn, and though you know that just prior to this, he was heavily intoxicated, it's kind of a dwarvish thing. It's almost like people make jokes about how they can just turn it off, and you see why they do that, because, 30 seconds before, he was stumbling over himself, but you would never know it looking at him now. He's focused with this, I don't want to say somber, but determined look on his face. It's time.
I do want to take a quick look as we're going through the forest to see if I can find any more nightshade. I'm not deviating from the path, but nightshade.
Give me a survival check.
I will give you an herbalism kit check. I think that's what I'd use for this, for searching for things.
Either one. I think you're proficient in both anyway, so.
Can I give him advantage if he shows me what the plant looks like before we left? And I assist him?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
17.
Nice.
Cocaine and cocaine accessories.
So, you find another 2 nightshade flowers. They're pretty rare, but the fact that you found 2 of them, it's pretty astonishing.
So how many? I've got a handful of nightshade petals and 2 nightshade flowers.
Basically, you can triple what you have right now.
3 nightshade flowers?
Yes.
Okay.
What you currently have right now, you just got 2 more of. So you can triple what you have right now.
Okay, well I had a handful, so 3 handfuls. I'm just gonna say 3 nightshade flowers. That really makes it easy.
Yes.
Alright, yeah. Alright, cool. And that was all I was looking for, and I'll get them on out of the forest.
Okay. So, as you exit this forest, you find yourself standing in this grove, and directly to your north, what you'd notice is this sort of pulsating part of the ground, where this red energy with this black outline around this circle, just sort of almost like a subtle wind, is just gently flowing and seeping into the material plane. You notice that there's a series of runes that on 4 different sides of this circle seem to be etched into the ground. And Nixri, you finally become reunited with, and she says, "Thank you for joining us. This is the Far Well. While not a direct portal to the Far Realm, as that would be dangerous, there is a large amount of Far Realm energy that is concentrated into this spot. Now, all of you except for one, you will be immersing yourselves in this pool daily. You will find your sanity attacked from all sides. You may begin to lose grip on who you are, but focus.
I actually know a lot about the Far Realm. Quite a bit.
Good. That may be of aid to you. It is important that every time that you are immersed, that you immerse yourself in the well. You keep it in your mind who you are. Your memories, your goals, your ambitions, your beliefs, everything that makes you you. Keep that at the forefront, lest you lose yourself.
So what do we actually do? Do we just walk up to this thing and get in proximity, or?
Well, for starters, your friend who wishes to take a shortcut, if all goes well, you will only have to take a dip in the Far Well once.
So I only have to take a dip in the Far Well once?
Ideally, if you come back.
I'll come back.
I urge you to consider the magnitude of what it is that you are deciding to do. When you are in that well, I can't help you. Norn can't help you. None of your companions can help you. You will either enter the well and come back out having resisted the brainworm with all your powers, or the brainworm will consume you, and I will be forced to expel you into the far realm.
I really want to see the consumption.
This is not a portal to the far realm, but certain aberrational energies can be jutted there from this well. And in the event that you become an aberration, aka an illithid, the link will be formed and you will be gone.
Let me tell you this. If you will let me go make peace with my god, just in case. And she will then walk to the side and pray. No matter what happens, I know this may end well, it may end badly. But no, I've always trusted your guidance. I've always trusted you. And if it ever comes down to the final battle, I will have your side, and you will have my arms. May the oceans be peaceful, and the storms rage with fury when need be.
With this, you don't see it, but you almost feel as if you're being coiled. You feel your arms pull to your side. You feel your legs straighten up like a serpent wrapping around you. Before the grip loosens, and you see a single lightning strike across the sky. And it begins to snow, rather heavily.
She smiles. I'm ready.
Very well. Stand in the well, please.
I get in the well.
She walks over to you and pulls a vial out from underneath her nightgown. And you see this almost little squid, only about that big, inside of it. She walks over to you, puts it underneath your nose, and pops the cork. And almost instantly, you only feel movement for a second, as you have this uncomfortable feeling in your nose for just a moment, and then you're just racked with a migraine, the worst pain in your head that you have ever felt.
She begins to scream.
It is like knives stabbing into your temples. And suddenly you collapse as your entire body falls into the well. And at this moment, if for a brief period of time, if I could have everyone jump into another channel, please. But Sean, of course, you leave yours in here so the recording will catch it.
Who's jumping into another channel?
Everybody but Sean, me, and Gavin.
Okay, what channel
I'm just
am I
gonna
going
deafen y'all, and then
You can just go into... Well, that way you guys can still talk. You just jump to D&D General.
Nick, jump in a D&D General, make sure.
It looks like he's in.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
We're good.
Kelly's still in here, but I'll just assume that's fine. So in this moment, I need to swap the music real quick. So, in this moment, it's the oddest experience. You look down at yourself, and you're you, and you don't feel anything. That's the first thing that you notice. And while you can look, like use your eyes to sort of get a general grip on your limbs as they float about, you can't move your head either. In fact, you can't move at all or feel anything at all. And you catch a glimpse at the corner of your vision of this, what looks to be an illithid, float in front of you, and you have a thought where it's, wait, that's my clothes. What's going on? As you want to panic, but you still can't move until you hear a voice echo in your head. Why aren't you an interesting one? You can respond, but only telepathically. Like, you can't even move your mouth.
I've heard worse.
Tell me what brings a little bug such as yourself into my realm.
Power.
Power, isn't that what we all search? But what power
Right.
is there really in...
That's not all that I'm searching for. Power, protection, love. These are the things that I've searched for in my life. These are an adventure, chaos, calmness, serenity. I've searched for all of this in my life. All at
One
once.
of these things that you have spoken about carries true meaning, and that is chaos, or more accurately, the descent into chaos. I speak of entropy, the process of degradation, the process of rebirth. For entropy is what I represent. We have much time to speak about this. We're gonna have a lot of time to get to know each other.
Then let us begin.
And so, I don't like to control elements about people's character, but I will say this. You have this attitude at first until you notice this. After what feels like days, you begin to see flitter in front of your vision as you're starting to slowly go insane because you can't move, you can't feel anything. It's like being buried alive and being unable to die. And after what feels like days, you see this shadowy apparition that begins to finally float in front of your vision to where you can see it, and you imagine it's been there all along, but you have no real way of confirming that until he says to you, there is no victory that you are gaining from this. As you see this shadowy being, a small bit of himself break off into an identical, much smaller being, and instead this time this one speaks. You will become an instrument of my entropy. As you notice this corpse of an illithid that's wearing your clothes, as this shadow enters this body, the tentacles fall off, and then you find yourself looking at yourself as he says, I win. From your body, and this time it's not telepathic. It actually spoke using your mouth, using your body.
So you're going to use my body.
It does nothing but smirk and floats off back in the direction you came from as you as your body turns and you catch an image of it going through this portal.
No! Do not harm them. They will kill you, and they won't show mercy.
This one can die. It will not matter. See, I am a necessary force. I am Zebnalikor, the Lord of Entropy. I have been present for all that has ever been, and I will be for all that ever will be.
You will die just as you are. I promise. They are a force to be reckoned with, and they will destroy you.
I am older than even the gods themselves. You believe you're petty mortals? You
Yes.
defy fate?
Yes. I do.
All things must eventually decay before they can be reborn.
And guess what? You said all things. That includes you. You will die, and you will decay this day. You have my word on it.
We're going to become good friends.
I'm sure
As
we will.
the days, at least what it feels like, there's no real way for you to track the passage of time. The days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, and the months turn into years. At least what it feels like.
And she is just going to repeat, I am the captain of the Dragon's Horizon. I am powerful. I'm a blood hunter.
You
a
are
warlock.
nothing.
I am a daughter of the Great Serpent. I have his blessing, and I will get out of here, and I will come after you, and I will destroy everything you think you have. I know who I am. Even if I go crazy here, I have my blessing, and I know where I'm going when I die. I will rejoin the seas, and I will be at my God's side. So it doesn't matter what you do here.
Understand it. Yes, you will eventually get to this point. All things must die before they can be remade. All things must decay before they can grow. There is power in death, and there is power in rebirth.
And if death is what it must be, then death is what it must be. But at least put a sword in my hand, and I will die with honor. Because you have created the crazy, and you have created something beyond even what you could reconcile, because I will be free. Whether it is in life or it is in death, I will be free.
It's funny that you say that. We've almost reached our destination. Before, it's the strangest thought. At this point, it feels like almost a century that you've been here. And you've managed to keep little bits of yourself, but eventually, as you're sort of almost like, imagine somebody floating in space. You're a soul trapped in a body that you can't control. At least that's what it feels like. And eventually your body turns and you see what looks to be just this, almost like a fog wall of just red energy.
And what's that? Is that where I die?
That is the Nexus. That is that which connects to all, every place, every time, every world, every eventuality.
So that is where I will die, isn't it?
In a sense, but truly you're already dead.
What do you mean? I'm already dead.
You died hundreds of years ago, at least as far as the time flows here. As far as your friends, it's been, about 2 minutes. For you, it's been a century. You died 100 years ago. You were a soul. You thought you were a body this whole time. Your body is gone. Long gone. Nothing but another one of my hands, another one of my minions. You were just company. But I do thank you for that. I've been alone for a long time.
I'm dead.
Oh yes, quite.
So I guess if I go through there, I will reach where my god is.
Oh no, that is the phlogiston. The phlogiston has no connection to any of the outer planes. Souls that end up there become lost for an eternity. I meant what I said when I said there was no chance of any sort of victory.
So you took me, and you didn't even let me die a hero, die with honor. How dare you?
Oh, but
How
you have been
dare
such
you?
great company.
How dare you even call yourself a type of god, a
Oh, I
type
am
of
no god.
being? You are worthless as any other person that hangs or murders, because you kill people without mercy, and you kill without letting them have honor. You are a worthless individual.
One life is nothing. At least you have. When you live through several realities like I've had, when you've seen entire universes fall and be born, the triviality of life becomes an ever-present fact.
But honor is everything. And if you have no honor, then you are worthless.
Oh, you entertain me so. I made the right choice with you. As you pass through this wall, and
No. No. No.
as you see yourself in this blue void with these almost river-like white streams of energy that jut through, you hear haunted screams as you see these white spirits in packs flitter past you. Before suddenly you feel something, a hand on your shoulder, and then it hits you. Wait, I feel something.
I'm going to try to move and touch the hand.
And it is a hand, and you feel this other sensation, this weight on your back, this almost like cold feeling pressing against your skin. Before it hits you, wait, steel. That's the feeling of steel.
Fuel?
And you reach back, your hand closes around your weapon. You look to your left, and you see this winged being next to you, recognizing it's your grandfather.
Aaron?
He says, no fire, no lightning. There's no formalities. He's all business.
No fire, no
As you-
lightning.
As you find your blade of the mimic in your hands, and suddenly you're able to move. Even though you're a spirit, it's almost like you've been made flesh. You're corporeal. There's substance to you.
What are we doing?
That is Zebnalakor, the Lord of Entropy.
Okay.
You must fight for who you are, my granddaughter.
Done. I'm going to pull the weapon and let the mimic bite me.
And I will now bring everyone else back in.
My imagination says like there's a mimic mouth at the sword and like it bites
I would
my
imagine
hand.
so, and that's how you activate your crimson, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring everyone back here.
Y'all can come back. Babe. I told them. Gavin.
Okay, I'm back. What the fuck?
Once everyone gets back, we will get started.
Yeah, I told Kit to bring everybody back.
Okay.
Welcome back,
So-
guys.
On your end, what you guys see is you see Raven disappear into this well, and a minute goes by. A minute and a half. 2 minutes. And Nixtry looks back at the rest of you and says,
So he's not coming back. Who's taking me?
Yeah.
Nixtry just looks at you and says, at all of you, addressing the group, I'm so sorry. Your friend has been lost to the void.
Oh, sweet.
when in that moment you see a bright
What?
flash, this red beam shoot up out of the well as it just shoots into the sky, completely encompassing the sky in red. As you see a silhouette within this beam step out, and it's Raven. She's back. When you hear a voice that is not her own, and it says, "I am entropy, and I am free." I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, great. Drop the mat, Gavin.
Do I have to fight entropy?
Read.
I'm rolling initiative too, right, Gavin?
Oh yeah, you and your other companion.
Best part is, y'all still never got a rest after the forest.
Oh yeah.
15.
Oh man, this is gonna get stupid.
Did I
This
use
is-
any
Alright.
trick shots? I think I did. Wait,
Hey,
maybe
Nick.
it's in-
To clear
Nick, what-
something
what?
for you.
Look up top. This is gonna get stupid.
So I think
Oh,
Big Pappy's in the combat
fucking
tracker.
kidding
Is
me.
Big Pappy here? Do I get to roll for him?
No, Big Pappy is not here.
This is gonna get
Can he
stupid.
be?
ridiculous.
No, he's not here.
This is gonna get stupid.
I think if that person's joining, I think someone else should join. You know, like
Oh yeah,
Phoenix.
you think so?
Yeah, Phoenix. Phoenix. And he should be level 20. He should be level 20. Oh shit! I call.
Why is Shiziki here?
I pray to the Lord of
Shiziki
Death.
is not here.
I pray to the Lord of. I pray to the Angel of Death. And he pops off.
Oh, this is gonna get stupid.
All right.
Well.
That's-
My plus 11 initiative. Hold on, guys.
Shizuki's not really fighting in this, is he?
Sean, if you'll check your
Okay.
messages for me.
already did. Already handled.
Cool.
Oh, this is gonna get stupid.
Is he level 22? No way he's level 20.
Yep, he is that Aaron.
Fucking way. Level 20. God
By
damn
the way,
it.
the only caveat with this, Brandon, you don't have your inventory. You have all your equipped items, but you don't have your inventory.
That's fine. I don't need my inventory.
Do we have a map?
Yes, there's a couple maps, but you guys only get one.
We have a chance.
Hey, Gavin. I tried to save the map. It didn't save.
It didn't? Alright, I'm gonna need a big degree of trust from you guys here. I'm gonna share a second map. Don't click on it. Please don't click on it. It's not for
Well-
you to see.
Remember, he can just click on his. Did his token go on the map he's supposed to?
No.
Oh yeah, no, I can put your token there and then you can, okay. Yeah.
So okay.
Alright, yeah, that works. Alright,
And
revealing
so-
some creatures.
So how
Did
do
I
I
not
do?
use
How do I do the token thing?
Sean, you're gonna have to tell him that.
Just double click on your character sheet. Double click on your image in the top right where it says token.
Bet I got it.
Alright, give me just a second to populate some maps, guys. I apologize.
Oh, you're good, guy. You're good, man.
I have to mark it down. I used 2 spells as the robots. Use whole person and cast spell. It actually uses spell slots. I didn't expect I was actually gonna have to like go into combat after that. Look what.
Where are tokens? I don't see a token.
Haven't done it yet. I'm doing the other map first.
He's populating my map.
Okay.
Just go to
Okay.
the Barwell. I guess is the one that we're looking at.
Did I use any trick shots? I think I did. Wait, I think we had a short rest, didn't we? Did we?
You got a short rest because we had dinner, but
I
you
get
didn't do a
grit
long
points
rest.
back in a short rest.
I'd say yeah, we had a short rest when we sat down and ate dinner.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I got a short rest during. Okay, so I got my grit points back. Cool. Or one of my grit points back.
How injured are you? Oh, not at all.
I'm not injured.
No, I was looking at mom.
Actually, it says I have 4. Oh, it says I have 4 temporary hit points. I think that was from the feast. I think those go away because I think has it been 24 hours?
Your 4 temporary hit points came from when you were with Big Pappy and he made y'all a meal. Yeah, those are gone.
Yeah, those are gone. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm just gonna say 0 for that.
Because
only
you left Big Pappy yesterday? I don't know. I know we started the day off
Yeah.
with Eastvale and he was already gone.
Yesterday he started the day off, and now it's.
Alright, where are we putting our tokens on this map?
I'm putting them all out there now.
Oh man, this is.
Is that the one I'm clicking on or no?
The one in the chat is.
Yeah, the one in
image.
the
Yeah,
chat
Farwell.
is.
they're in
Click it.
Farwell, they're
Sweet.
in something else.
Yeah,
They're
we're
probably
somewhere
in
else.
near Will. Okay.
The near well, yes, they're in the near well.
Yes.
We're gonna get fucking wrecked.
I don't know, you got a level 20 character with you. I think you probably have a decent chance.
Probably. I mean,
How many times have we like had a fight and you're just like, oh, but Gavin, if Aaron was here, he would have done this and this and this. But, so there you go. Now's your time to put your money where your mouth is when you kept bragging about your campaign 1 character.
oh my god, this is gonna be great.
You just gotta remember how to play the character you haven't touched in like 4 or 5
In a
months.
year. In a year. In a whole year.
Oh, I haven't touched this in a while. Oh.
Enough. I probably still know how to play Phoenix very well. To be fair.
Oh, I forgot I got a plus 21 to hit.
Yeah, that should do.
You got a plus 11 to your thing, and you're only a 1 above me in your initiative roll. What a bitch.
Come on, Fantasy Grounds. Cooperate.
Yeah.
What a little bitch.
Initiative.
And you're level 20. What a little bitch.
I'm still above you.
Doesn't matter. I literally could have outrolled you. by
Okay,
1
listen.
point.
Listen, but Flora outrolled us all, okay?
Suck my dick.
She did amazing. She outrolled us all with a 20 fucking 3. Way to go, babe.
How is Molly all the way back there and the fucking rogue is all the way up front?
You can move yourself a little bit.
Okay.
No, you can't.
You know what?
Unlock it.
I don't
Yeah,
think
you
I
gotta
would have
unlock it.
time to even. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta unlock our character.
Should be good.
Okay. I'm gonna move back here.
Not too much. You can move yourself a little bit.
I'm gonna move right there. Whoa. Okay.
Gavin,
I am
unlock mine too.
45.6 inches or feet away from Raven, apparently.
How do you do that?
Mhm.
You right click, and then you go to the arrow. Draw arrow.
I don't see a drawing.
Right click on your person.
I did.
Okay, right click off the map. Off your person. Like on the map, off your person.
Okay.
And hit pointers, and then hit draw arrow, and then tap on the map where you want to draw the arrow, and tap the map. Yeah. Why is it not showing feet? Why is it showing inches?
Okay.
And then cancel it.
Just pretend it's feet. I'm trying to
Okay.
change the color of the grid and it won't work. I'm clicking OK. Come on, grid color, change. There it is.
There you go.
Cool. That way you guys can actually see it a little bit better.
Okay.
Let's do whatever it is we're doing.
Alright, changing the music one more time and I think we're good to go.
Same process. Okay.
So we get area action like that, put it somewhere, and then all you have to do is click and drag the circle.
Or zoom in or something. It's a big map. Obviously. So that way you can
So
see.
I apologize for this music, just in case this isn't what I was meaning to do. But let's see.
Oh, I need to roll some divination dice.
Nope, not what I was meaning to do.
So we're rocking with Carmina Barada tonight. Woohoo!
We are
No,
gonna.
Not it.
Motherfucker.
Hey Gavin, on my map, can you unlock Aaron and?
My
Yeah, I
dick
will.
died.
I will in a second.
My
Nope.
head just got comfy.
Why is Raven in a 4-quarter square?
Because he's using Raven to fight y'all.
Yeah, but it's in a 4-quarter square. It's in between 4 corners of each
No.
square.
Not
Not
it.
in a.
All right, we'll just go with this one then. I can't find the song I found, so we'll just do a different one. There we go. I've used this one 100 times before, but that's because it's good. So
Let's get it.
I don't think anybody cares as long as it's good jams.
yep.
Battle time.
There we go. All right, so top of the round. Flora, you are up.
I'm never ready, guys.
As you see Raven standing before you, but that wasn't her voice.
To do. Don't. Think about it.
So going.
Are you making fun of my voice right now, man?
No, I would never.
He was just being himself.
Okay.
It's female version.
I guess I'm gonna go ahead and shoot with my longbow. Hey,
That misses.
I held on to it too long, that's why.
It's that hesitation. It's Raven. I mean,
Raven.
Sorry, Captain. Did I miss? It didn't actually roll.
Raven
Okay.
bitches too.
No, missed. It's popped up.
Oh.
It missed.
Okay.
Yeah. That's...
still got a bonus. You can inspire if you want to.
Are you using my stat sheet, Gavin?
No, I made a new stat sheet.
Okay. I mean, I don't care if you did. That'd be badass.
It's influenced by it, but it is a little different.
I'm sure it
I'm
is.
gonna go ahead and
Is it AC
inspire
higher?
a nod.
You're gonna
Yay.
inspire Anand. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, making fun of people pays off, right? Right, Marche?
Yay, thinking of me.
That's gonna be my turn.
Raven's gonna use one of her legendary actions as she looks at you and Flora and just says, "Oh, Flora, you will know terror." I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
What, did he cast a spell?
This is not a spell.
It's an ability. Okay.
A 12. That is a failure. So you take 16 points of psychic damage, and you are now frightened.
Uh-oh.
Should I just start running backwards at this point?
While you are frightened, you have disadvantage on attack rolls while the source of your fear is within your line of sight, and you cannot willingly use your movement to move closer to the creature.
Okay.
All right. Now it is Raven's turn. So Raven, well, this being that looks like Raven, is just gonna go for the closest person within melee range. Well, somebody within melee range. For some reason, Molly, she locks eyes with you. Draws this large double-bladed weapon off of her back, doing so slow and menacingly. And then with a flash, is right there in your face. She's going on with a full round of attacks.
You're on a half lock.
I am.
When he said in her face, he meant quite literally.
Yeah.
That hits.
Wow. Overkill
Take-
much?
I'll roll it in the chat. Well, you're
I'll
not
do-
raging yet,
Hey.
so...
Hey, Gavin,
What's up?
she might not even get to attack.
Why not?
Because Sentinel and her polearm feet. So as soon as she gets
Oh,
10
that's
feet out...
true. Okay, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as she rolls, I'm going to snap my fingers and say she rolls a natural 15.
And so what kind of roll is this again? Oh, you're saying that Molly rolls a nat 15
Yeah.
on the attack.
So she gets to add her modifiers to it.
Alright, what's your modifier?
Plus 8.
That definitely hits. Alright, yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Not very menacing now, bitch.
Well, let's put the flame on. You don't have it on yet.
But that was only... You did 7 damage, because you rolled nat 1s with that anyway. So... Alright. So, at this point, she laughs and just... and then reaches her hand out towards you. And you see this... You need to make a strength saving throw.
Well, that's so hard for Molly.
Oh my god.
Just strong enough. Yeah.
So, this damage is going to be halved. So, I don't think you're raging yet, but this is still going to be halved anyway. You take... Oh, no, this is going to be more than halved. Because of its 2 types of damage that I'm not going to go into. Anyway, you take 6 points of damage. 3 psychic, 3 bludgeoning. As you feel yourself trying to be pulled in her direction. But you lock your feet and you just don't budge. So she's going to activate her Avatar of Dread. So I need everyone to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Everyone?
Everyone on this plane of existence to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be careful with like, things like that, Gavin.
What am I thinking of? I'm inspired, right?
You are.
What?
Yes.
What does all this? What all does that do for me again?
I did the same as you, Bond.
He's asking what does the inspiration do for him again?
Yeah, what's
You
it?
can roll a d8 and add it to the total of any roll.
Okay, I'm using my my special ability to re-roll my Wisdom saving throw.
You know what? I'm going to use a
Okay.
luck point as well.
I wish I had that.
Okay,
I would
and then
so
I'm
use
gonna
that.
add- I'm gonna add a
There you go.
D8 to. Did I beat it, or are you gonna tell me before I
You
have to
don't
use
know
it?
until after everything
Okay,
resolves.
so I'm gonna go ahead and use do my D8, D4, D6.
Okay.
There we go, and add an additional 5 to that, so 21.
So if you rolled a 15, the DC was 16. If you rolled a 15 or lower, you are now frightened.
Okay, I ain't
And
scared.
if you could, I need to clear Lucas off. Hey, Sean, you want to play Lucas? Or not Lucas, I mean Neston. You want to play Neston?
Not really. I don't have any of the Neston stuff with me right now.
Hey Gavin, I'll play Neston.
You'll play Neston? Okay.
I'll play Neston. I can run through. I can run three characters. It's a different plane of existence. I got this.
Alright, so Neston also rolled a 16. So you rolled a 15 or lower, you are frightened.
Alright, Gavin, go ahead and give me control of Neston.
I already did.
Cool.
If you rolled a 15 or lower, you're frightened. Meaning that, and this is a special kind of frightened. So you... Oh no, this one isn't that way, never mind. No, it's just you're frightened. You can't willingly move closer, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls while they're within your line of sight. And that is the end of that turn. So moving on to the other plane of existence. So it is Ephemeral 1's turn. So the first Ephemeral is going to, and I need to unlock the token movement. It is going to move over to you, Raven, and it's going in with an attack. So it's attacking you with its intellect drain.
Oh, I like the little shimmer you put on the map. That's nice.
Thank you. A 16 hits? I didn't think a 16 hit.
He did it with us for snow.
Yes. Apparently my AC is only 14. No, hold on, that's not right. I moved something with that by accident.
Still have your armor on that one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it should be an 18.
Should be an 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think. Okay.
I'm gonna change that just for right now.
I put it at 18 for you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So that doesn't hit. It's going in with one more attack. Oh, that's a natural 4. So it misses as this tortured spirit just flies up to you, and it says, all you hear it say is, "I must go home," before it just tries to grasp you, and you just wriggle out of its way, dodging and weaving.
Fuck this, fuck this, fuck this!
It is now Aaron's turn.
Alright. So Aaron in his glory. Alright, we're gonna go for full round attacks.
Oh yeah, that hits. Hit with a nat 5.
He's gonna take a whole bunch of that. And then, because I get to freaking do it, give me a second. I gotta find it where it is. He's gonna take, hold on. Yeah, he's just gonna take that for now. And then he's gonna take another one. And
Actually, resist.
oh, that's okay. I gotta find. There it is. And then he's gonna take this. And I missed.
Was miss, unfortunately.
Yep. And that will be Aaron's turn for now. That'll be Aaron's turn.
All right. At the end of that turn, we're gonna go 2 legendary actions.
Wait,
So
I
let's go-
have a question.
All right.
Do I still have my transformation?
No, not for this fight.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Yeah. But you do have your weapon in its fully upgraded form, aside from the transformation.
Yep.
Alright, so Zeb Nalakor is taking a legendary action, and Raven is taking a legendary action, but like the other Raven, the corrupted Raven. So, Zebnalikor is coming at you, Raven, with an excruciating horror. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Hey, I'm actually good at those.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Oh my god. So, dude, that's a critical.
Yep.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's a crit.
so you take
Wowzers, good sir.
Yep.
40 points of psychic damage,
Holy Hades in a handbasket.
and you are now frightened.
Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sugoi.
Dude, that was unfortunate, man.
That's all right. Don't worry. I can fix that later.
Yeah, so you okay, yeah. And then as far going back to the other map here. Yeah, Molly, I need you to make no, actually I'm not going for Molly on this one. Anand, you're pretty close. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm not. Leave me alone, you jerk. A wisdom saving throw. Me no want to. Okay, 1 second.
Hopefully you don't roll a nat 1.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case.
That was a check, not a save.
What? Oh, my bad. Yeah,
You
you're
can just
right.
add you're proficient as a wizard, so just add your proficiency bonus to that. Which I think is 4.
Yes,
So that's a 16. Unfortunately,
Yes.
that is not a success.
it is not a success for the. Is it the same thing we're doing again, or are you casting a spell on me?
This is the same thing.
But then 16 should be enough, wasn't it?
So
Higher than 15.
Avatar of Dread was something different. That is one of those larger turn-based AoE type things, and it always gets a lower saving throw than their actual like legendary actions and attacks. It's like on a dragon's like frightening presence, for example. The saving throw is
Okay.
lower than their other things.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So, so you take.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's a lot of 6s.
Nice.
So, I promise I didn't overscale the damage. This is just a really good roll.
Oh lord.
You take 24 points of psychic damage, and you were already frightened, I believe. No, you weren't
I was
frightened.
not.
So you are now frightened.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Alright. Bon, it is your turn. Keeping in mind, you cannot willingly move closer, and
No.
you have disadvantage while the source of your fear is within your line of sight.
Who says I want to move forward?
I would imagine probably you wouldn't want to.
I'm gonna go right down here. Can I bonus action hide? Or yeah,
Yes.
bonus
Do
action
that.
hide.
You can still do that. You just can't willingly end your turn closer than you started
Yeah.
it.
I got you.
And you also have disadvantage on attacks.
Well, do I really, Gavin?
If you do something to counterbalance it, that's on you. But
If I bonus action hide, do I really, Gavin?
give me a
Wow.
stealth check.
Okay. No, only if. Dude, what is up?
You have advantage on stealth checks.
Yeah,
do.
you
Oh, I do.
Yes,
Yep,
you do. So
yep.
roll it one more
So,
time.
One more time. Okay, bro. Okay, that's a 17.
Ooh, goy.
Oh, not good tonight.
She laughs at you.
No,
Make your
great.
attack with
Fuck you.
disadvantage.
Who says I want to make my attack at disadvantage?
Disadvantage these nuts.
Bad taking it at disadvantage anyways.
What do you mean you're taking a disadvantage anyways? Not if I use a grit point.
You could still do if you whatever you have at your disposal.
Yeah,
You could use a
Nah.
dead eye shot, sure, and it would be a straight roll.
yeah.
Or you could just wait till the effect of fear wears off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use a great point. I guess regular roll disadvantage is really not gonna go well.
You want to go disadvantage? You jam all the time, though.
I know! I didn't say it. I don't want to jam my gun. Oh, yeah, I can
Or you
just
can
drop
swap
that
it.
one.
Come on,
Yeah, I
roll
can
your
swap
dice.
to a different gun. I can swap to a different gun. I can always swap to a different gun. Okay. Luckily, I didn't jam.
Oh,
And it's still a 22.
That hits.
It is
That
advantage.
hits.
Alright. That's what I
So-
thought.
You see this bullet just completely pierced through Raven's head as you notice this like shadowy energy just close up again. It still did some damage, but like what I'm saying is what's lethal is not lethal under normal circumstances.
Yeah, we'll take another shot at her.
Look, Bond, you're getting your wish. Blowing up Raven.
It's not my wish.
You get to do what
Man,
you wanted
that's
to
a
do
damn
for a
gun.
while.
That's the jam. Yeah, that's a jam. This is why you keep multiple guns as a gunslinger.
Anon says that's not a jam.
Oh.
Are you letting him re-roll?
Yes.
Okay, re-roll your d20. Still with disadvantage, but re-roll.
Okay. I swear.
Don't you let me down, old boy.
Come on, come on. Okay, luckily none of those.
Not a
were-
jam, but it still doesn't.
But a miss. Okay.
I'll take the
Okay, at
miss
least it's
without
not
the
a jam. At
jam.
least it's not a jam. Oh.
Alright.
Alright. Do I get a roll, do another wisdom saving throw to see if I get out of that?
At the
thing?
end of your turn, yes, you do.
Yeah,
Try to remind
so-
me of that. Anytime you're frightened, you can roll again at the end of each of your turns. So
Okay,
if
this
I
is the end of my
forget-
turn.
Yeah, so go ahead, roll.
Okay.
In case I forget, I'm saying it now. If you are frightened, when your turn
Fuck.
ends, you can roll again. Yeah, that doesn't make it.
So dumb.
Alright. Anand,
Woo woo.
you are frightened.
I am. Okay, so I know who this is that we are fighting, yes.
You know it's Raven.
I know it's Raven. What do I know what Raven is? And I'm asking because my character probably knows, but I don't remember. Like I know what he is. He's human. He's celestial.
Well,
he's vampire. What is he?
You know that Raven is sort of a mishmash of a little bit of human, but mostly elvish and draconic.
No, I'm a little bit of a changeling, but
A little bit of
mostly
changeling, a little bit of human, mostly elvish and draconic. She's just a
Okay.
big mutt.
That's interesting.
Listen, it's a watered down bloodline. Sorry.
Okay, I don't really think he's elvish. He's no he's not Fey at all.
No, he is classified as a humanoid.
Okay.
Well, she classified as a humanoid. Yeah.
So, the reason this is my question. I am going to use magical circle. But I want to specify because it says I can use one or more of the things listed. In the more terminology, can I specify that the circle be against Raven?
Magic circle. Let me look.
Okay. Because it has all the generic types, but
I will say I'm pretty
Can you do
hardline with how
magic circle as
spells
an
work.
Action, or does it take longer?
pardon?
How long does it take to do magic circle? Does it take a minute?
It's
Oh,
a
it
minute.
has a casting time of 1 minute.
It's a casting. That's like 16 turns, isn't it?
No, that is 10.
10 turns.
That's 10 turns. Okay. Well, never mind. I overlooked that fact. No problem at all. One second. That kind of screwed what I was gonna do. So.
You're good.
Meow.
You want to meow? Is that what you want? Would you like to use your interact with object to meow?
Wouldn't that be great if I could just meow? No. I am going to be a moron. And I'm gonna cast. Yeah, I'll just cast a fireball. That's probably the easiest thing. We'll go ahead and do some attack-a-maroo. Where's he at? Where's he at on the screen? Where'd you go? Where'd he go?
He's right up here in the corner.
Oh, he's up at the
you
top.
and Molly.
Yeah. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Doo-doo. 1 second. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow.
You were the one to make that, or you just said him?
Pardon?
You're good.
What?
You're good.
I just like the visual. It makes me feel better. If that's okay.
Sure. What you doing?
Okay, fireball.
All right, dexterity saving throw from Raven.
Yes. And we're doing this as a what level am I? I'm level 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that as a level 4 fireball.
Okay.
So that's 98, right?
Well, I just rolled a nat 20 on my saving throw, so that's an
You're still gonna
automatic
take
success.
half.
But I'll
yeah.
still take half. So
Oop, I think I put the wrong thing. Alright, there's that. And one thing. Not bad. And
those 17
hold on.
points of fire damage.
Hold the horses. Checking something. Ah, okay. Never mind. Yes. Boom. That's still decent. And since it's the end of my turn, I can re-roll my
Wisdom
my
save,
wisdom
yes you
saving
can.
throw. Yeah. Okay. 14.
Aw, man. That doesn't make it.
Hey, I'm still scared.
Alright. Is that the end of your turn?
It is.
We got 2 legendary arrows here. So Raven's or legendary actions, I mean. So Raven's gonna make another legendary action as she just looks at you, Anand, and says, I sense the ephemerals within you. You could be a problem. And I need you to make another wisdom saving throw.
Is this a spell?
This is an effect, an ability.
So nobody's casting spells tonight. We're just doing abilities.
Yeah, he did that in campaign 1 too, man. Once we had a bunch of people counterspell.
You can't counterspell a dragon breath.
Oh, yes, I'm aware of that.
Yes.
But you can't have a character that has no spells and uses only abilities. That's a cheat
There's
code.
entire classes based on that. You can't counterspell like a Psi warrior, for example. All their stuff is psionic.
What, another wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. 8.
So you're gonna take. Hey, that was actually a shitty roll. So you're gonna take 11 points of psychic damage.
Cool.
And over here, Zebnalikor is gonna target Aaron. I need Aaron to make a wisdom saving throw.
How many legendary actions does she get?
These are 2 different creatures in this instance.
I know, but even the one in the R world was done. Watch.
You said
This
wisdom?
is the second. Yes, wisdom.
That's a nat 20. Go fuck yourself.
Alright, so that's just gonna be 10 points of psychic damage. No big deal. As he says to Aaron, you celestial paragons have been a thorn in my side for too long!
Well, I'm gonna be a thorn bigger than you want. You fucked with my granddaughter, and now you're gonna pay.
Alright. moving on to the next turn. Raven, you are up. So you can't
Yep.
willingly move closer to Zebnalikor, but
course not.
that doesn't mean there's nothing you can do. However, you will have disadvantage on the attack. He's sight.
Because he's in sight.
Yeah. If you could
Then-
somehow move in a way where he wouldn't be, then sure, but you can't. It would involve moving closer to circle around to the other side.
Yep, I know. Give me a second. I gotta go through my action. See if there's anything I can do. You know what? I am going to use. Alright, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cast Summon Shadow Spirit.
Have that spell? That's
Yeah.
a Blood Hunter spell?
Yeah, it's a
Or
warlock spell.
Which means it's a Blood Hunter spell. Okay. Let me look at Summon Shadow Spirit real quick.
Call forth a shadowy spirit from the Shadowfell.
From the Shadowfell.
Yep. And I already
So
have
I'm not gonna cost you your turn on this. You try to cast the spell, it doesn't work. As Aaron looks at you and says, "There's no connection to the planes here.
Damn it.
Beings that you must summon from another place cannot come here."
Fine. Fine, I'll deal with this. And you said I had the Blade of the Mimic?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cost you your turn on that. Because you wouldn't really know that. I don't think that would be fair. But
Okay, well, I got a 1. I can't roll any lower at disadvantage than a 1.
yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll again. That was only one of your attacks.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I can't roll any more disadvantage than a 1, my friend.
Yeah. Oh
Are
my
you
god, dude.
The
serious?
rolls tonight have
You
not
still,
been good.
you still have your bonus. No, they have not. I'm sorry, guys. Wait, you should have more than a 3 for your attacks, though. I don't know what got discombobulated with your character sheet, but you should have more than a 3 from your attacks.
I don't know, it got
Let me
just-
fix something real quick.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought it was like a plus, like freaking, I don't know. I don't know what got discombobulated.
You get a +8. That hits.
Okay. Alright, I'll change it real quick. I got it,
already
Gavin. Okay. Yay, I hit. At least once.
Alright, that's ephemeral 1. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's gonna take some of this. And because I was bitten, it's gonna take some
Dude, you rolled the wrong damage, man.
No, did I?
You used the regular longsword. You're supposed to use the double-bladed longsword.
Motherfucker. I gotta get rid of that one.
Yeah, here, want me to get rid of it for you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. And you said no lightning, right?
That's what he said. No lightning. He said no lightning, no fire.
Okay, that's fine. I'll change it.
Alright. What you changing it to?
Okay, this isn't fire. This is acid.
So, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, man. I just changed it to acid and add acid damage to
You
that.
still rolled the wrong damage thing, though. You
No.
Blade of the Mimic, double-bladed longsword is what you need to...
No, is it?
Yeah, you don't have the shock foil, and thank God you don't, because it's lightning.
Yeah. No, I did the mimic one.
It says double-bladed scimitar shock foil.
Serious? Oh, that's what. Oh, fuck me.
So roll the damage with the Blade of the Mimic. Or if you want, you can just keep that roll.
This'll work. That should have been the mimic.
There you go. Yep, that was it.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, that hits, and it takes an additional 5 points of acid damage.
Yeah.
All right, and when you slice through this ephemeral, you notice it barely keeps its form together. As when you do, it's like you cleave it in half. The whole ephemeral's not even left yet, and it just says to you, "I must go."
Yeah, okay, and that's gonna be my turn. So I get to make my wisdom save.
Still got your bonus.
Nope, that was my bonus. That was my 2 attacks, my bonus.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep. And this will be my wisdom save.
What's that? Yeah, that succeeds.
Cool. Awesome. And that will be Raven's turn.
All right. And last legendary action from Zebnalikor, Aaron, if you will make a wisdom saving throw as Aaron.
Mm-hmm. That's an 11.
All right, so you're gonna take. Okay, so of all these 5d6s, I got 2 5s and 3 6s. You guys are rolling horribly. I'm rolling great. So that's 28 points of psychic damage, and Aaron is now frightened as he just says to Aaron, "I'm an inevitability."
Okay. That didn't hurt, but fuck me.
Moving on to Zebnalikor's turn. So
16 hit points. Gonna take a while.
He's coming over here. He's just pissed off at Aaron now. You can tell he does not like Paragons. So he's going for a full round of attack at Aaron.
Okay.
But going in with a slam attack. A 27 misses?
I have a 29 AC
How is it that high?
because of all my shit.
Okay, alright. It's been a while since we played the character anyway. Okay, alright. He's going again. That's a miss.
7, again, regretting making those characters as strong as they are.
It's not that big of a deal. It's a character that hasn't been used in a year, so... Alright, going again. And that's a miss. Alright, he's, I guess that's the end of his turn.
And I mean, resistance to psychic, poison, necrotic, force, radiant, fire, cold.
Alright, it is Neston's turn.
Alright, so
Character sheet
Neston...
should be open.
Yeah, I got it. Neston is going... okay, he is going to cast Calm Emotions.
On?
A 20-foot freaking sphere.
Okay.
And he is going to put it... Oh, nope.
What does that do? Does that get rid of Frightened?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm trying to move it, but I can't move it.
Cool! Raven dispels it.
I'm trying to move it over more towards Nixtree.
That would hit all of them other than Neston, but Neston's not frightened.
Right, that's what I'm trying. That's what I was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, so that would hit all of them.
Yep.
So Calm Emotions.
Yeah. Calm Emotions.
You can suppress any effect causing the target to be charmed or frightened.
Yep.
Okay, so nobody is frightened now. However, it is a concentration effect, and the frightened continues if you have not saved on your saving throw by that point.
Actually, I still am frightened.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep concentration on it.
Oh, that doesn't encompass Vaughn. Okay.
Yeah, well, I couldn't get Vaughn. He's way over to the freaking other side of the world.
I get it.
And that. Let's see. Let's see what else I can do. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
Because I can't do anything else.
So
Actually, no. I'll use my movement speed to step inside.
all right.
Actually, it's Neston. He's gonna be a scaredy cat and come run over here.
Lucas,
Look at us!
what's Raven doing?
His Raven is killing us! Lucas!
He said, "I knew it." The thing she
She's
said.
fine. At the end of Neston's turn, Zeb Nalakor is going to use one of his legendary actions. I need Aaron to make a wisdom saving throw. So that's a failure. Aaron takes 24 points of psychic damage, but he does have resistance, so that becomes 12.
Alright.
And it is Ephemeral 2's turn. So it's going to circle around to this side of Raven, and it's going to attack Raven. And even with advantage, it was only a 14. It's going again. And with advantage, that's a 4, a nat 4. So that still misses, and you just hear it say, "Please, I need you to take me home." Moving on to Ephemeral 3's turn. It's gonna move around here, also get into flanking, as it just says, "I must pass into the crystal!" And it's coming at you with an attack. That hits. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. That's a success. So this damage is going to be halved. You take 5 points of necrotic damage. And you feel as though like your mind starts to slip away for a moment, but then you remember who you are. Alright, that's it for that turn. Moving on. Hold on, got a lag spike real quick. Hopefully it's real quick. There we go. Next turn is Ephemeral 4. Jeez, their initiative went one after the other. Okay. But this one physically can't get into flanking. So it's just going to come over here to you, Raven, and it's just going to go at you with a regular attack. That hits. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. That's a success. So you take 5 points of necrotic damage, and you feel as though your mind is starting to slip, but you hold on to that thought, remembering who you are. And it's going to come at you with one more attack. Oh, that was a high roll. Another wisdom saving throw. That's a success. So you take 3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Alright. Lucas, you're up.
So, bonus action, I'm going to summon the Cat of Catastrophe right where I put that red circle. For my action, I'm going to settle cast Hold Person. She fails with a natural 9. She's paralyzed.
She's going to use one of her legendary resistances.
My God, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
So Raven now has legendary resistances?
The being inside of her does.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well, Direwolf
Not
attacks.
just us.
Yeah, whatever. Direwolf attacks. Let's see. +5 to hit. The 13.
That does not hit.
Cool. Turn's done.
Alright, let me get your cat in here. Molly, you're up.
Okay. Bonus action, I'm gonna rain. Then walk like 5 feet forward. Yeah. And then maniacally flame with my flame.
2 attack
For it.
rolls with advantage. Yes. Yep. Can I get 2 attacks? $21 misses her?
Barely. Yeah, you graze her, but not enough to do any damage.
Okay. Put my cat on the board, please.
Oh yeah. Sound for a second. There it is. Alright. Nixtry Valancourt, her turn. So, by the way, you noticed she's not frightened. She seemed to just shrug off the effects as she looks at the tree next to her and she says, "Earth Mother, forgive me." As you see her just lift this tree, completely uproots the whole tree as it's encompassed by this red energy, and she just backs up and just throws the whole tree at Raven. Raven has to make a dexterity saving throw.
You got rid of my circle. Why'd you get rid of my circle?
Circle's not permanent. It affects the people that are in it, and then it just works on them until concentration drops.
Gotcha.
That was a horrible roll. So, Raven is going to take 68 bludgeoning damage for a total of 37 bludgeoning damage as this tree just slams into Raven, and for once, like, it flies past, hits straight in the torso, keeps moving, and Raven is now prone. And now she's going to use her action to just shoot a couple arrows.
So she just gave herself disadvantage?
Yeah, I just realized that. Oh well, locked in. Didn't think that one through. I should have done the tree afterwards. So that misses. And that hits.
Just want to say, I don't think it's fair for level 9s to fight level 20s.
It's not. We're not fighting level 20.
We're fighting level 20.
Not fighting level 20. I'm a level 20.
Well, what
Then
level
he's-
is this thingy?
It is comparable to a certain type of ancient dragon as far as its statistics go. Alright, Brave Knight's turn. He draws his axe, lets out this like battle cry, and he's just gonna charge in. So he's gonna activate one of his psionic abilities. He's gonna go. He's gonna go with a telekinetic strike. So he runs forward and with advantage, he's gonna go in for a full round of attacks. He gets 3 attacks because of what he is. See if that would have been a 20. Nope, regardless, that hits. So he's going in with this. Going in with another attack. That hits. Then he's going in with another attack. And at this one, he's activating his psi-powered strike. I'd have to actually roll to hit. See if that hits. And that's going to do an extra D12 of psychic damage. As he just almost like a berserker in Molly-like fashion, as he just wails on Raven while she's on the ground. And we are at the top of the round. Flora, you are up. Were you frightened, Flora, or no?
I was.
You're not anymore.
Right.
Yeah, you're not anymore.
Do Psychic Glance on Raven.
Okay.
It's an intel saving.
Intelligence saving throw. That fails. So what does
I
it do?
7d6 of psychic damage.
Alright, and what
Go.
effect does it have?
And will be incapacitated until the start of their next turn.
Oh shit.
They're incapacitated, and it is till the next turn, and it is psychic damage.
Whoops.
I didn't know what it did. I didn't say legendary resistance, so it's not happening.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
Okay, roll your damage.
17.
Alright. Damn, okay.
You got one on
Said
Gavin, baby. There you go.
The end of their next turn, you said?
Yep, until the end of their next turn.
Okay, so I guess all I can do is jump over
Bye
to this
there.
turn and... Well, it turns over, so what kind of... Another intelligence save, you said? Alright, Fantasy Grounds is giving me trouble. Hold on. Luckily, it hasn't been, like, long lag spikes. Alright, so intelligence saving throw. That succeeds.
I wasn't.
So, no longer
hey,
incapacitated,
she
but
wasn't
that's the
done.
end of the turn.
She wasn't
what's
done
up?
with her turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Go, keep going, baby.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He was just mad.
That missed.
Wait, is Rolithem's Psychic Lance a bonus action? I think it's an action.
Yeah, one action.
She still has her bonus. She still had her bonus.
I don't know if you can make a weapon attack with a bonus, though.
If she uses her bow, she can make a bonus action with her bow. She gets three hits. Her action, her secondary, and her bonus.
Okay. Alright. Is that the end of your turn, or you still have something else? I apologize.
It's okay. I was gonna try one more time with my longbow.
No,
You can do 2 attacks?
No, you can do 2 attacks with your bonus action?
I don't think so. I think it's just 1 weapon attack. Pretty
Good.
sure monks are like the only class that gets like 2 attacks as a bonus action.
And just be on the safe side. Goes here. 1, 10, 15, 20.
And you can still make a wisdom saving throw versus the frightened. I know you're not frightened now, but if Calm Mind drops, you will be again, unless you pass on a saving throw before then.
Then it was wisdom saving.
Yes.
Okay.
That doesn't succeed, but you're still, as of now, not frightened.
Right.
Oh, Kelly forgot to. I just rolled it. She rolled a 15.
Almost, but not quite.
But wasn't Molly in the effect area?
She is.
Yeah,
but
she's in the effect area, but
when spell in, the fear will come back on.
Gotcha.
unless
okay.
you pass on a saving throw before then.
Okay.
So. Alright, Ephemeral 1's turn. So. This one, since you're right there, is going to go in for a full round of attacks against Raven. That was a high roll. Wisdom saving throw. Oh yeah, that's a definite success. So you're taking 3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Moving on, it is Aaron's turn.
Alright. So, bonus action.
Just to clarify here, Aaron could potentially turn his back and attack some of the ephemerals to the south and not have disadvantage.
I know. Bonus action. Hunter's Mark. It is now marked.
Okay.
And now my 2 attacks are going to be... Actually, I'm going to move because it doesn't take much. And I'm going to heal Raven with 1. And...
Nice, okay.
Oh, I'm not done yet. My only 2 darts of superior healing.
Okay.
That's it. Bonus action, both actions. That's all. I mean, besides movement, that's it.
Alright.
So, actually, does Aaron have his wings or no?
Yes and no. They're part of you now. He can fly. As can Raven. You can literally just think of a direction and move.
Oh, they can. Oh, I didn't know I could fly, or I would have been freaking up in the air. Fuck.
Yeah, you're all flying. You're flying right now.
Okay, so how
Those
far?
little pathways that you're seeing aren't physical pathways.
So how far up can I go?
Infinitely.
Okay, Aaron's shooting 30 feet straight in the air.
Okay, it is going to make an attack of opportunity.
Okay, that's fine.
That hits.
Oh, just hits.
So you take... I'll roll it in the chat so you can calculate resistances.
Okay.
So 27 points of damage. But only 20 of that should be bludgeoning. It shouldn't be slashing. 20 of that is bludgeoning. 6 of it is psychic, and 1 is necrotic. Do you have resistance to necrotic?
Yes, I do. I have
Then the necrotic becomes 0.
I have psychic, poison, necrotic, force, radiant, fire, and
That's
cold.
23 points of damage.
Okay, I'll eat it. It's to my 216. I'll eat it.
Yeah. All right.
All right. That's Aaron's turn.
Okay.
So that's all I can do. I had to
you're
heal
up.
myself.
Oh. Alright. I'm gonna go over here. Bonus action. Hide. I'll give you a stealth check. Advantage. That's a 19 for 27. Doubt that dickhead
Are you frightened or no?
I am still frightened.
So that's just a straight roll. Roll
No,
again.
it's not.
It's not? Are you in the calm emotions?
He's rolling for
No,
stealth.
how is... I'm in
Oh,
stealth.
stealth. Okay, gotcha.
I was like, what?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
You don't need
It's
to
all
roll
good.
for stealth on this one.
As far as you know, it seems as though you've escaped her line of sight. You don't believe you are seen at the moment.
Seen at the moment, but I can see her. Okay.
You can, yes.
So
Where are
that
you
still
hiding,
means I get-
though?
Behind this tree right here. Isn't this tree thing? Bush area? See this? Where's...
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that is
okay.
a sufficient hiding spot. Okay.
Gotcha. Alright.
But yeah,
so
you definitely have a good line of sight through like some shrub, like through some foliage and branches and stuff, but you can see.
Yeah. Okay, so straight roll.
Yes.
Alright. That was almost a 3.
Almost, but yes, that is a hit.
Oh.
And because she's engaged, you still get sneak attack damage.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mm. What is this? Sneak attack. I had fun with that. Oh, double 6s.
Nice. But now you are no longer hiding. You reveal yourself with the shot.
Yeah, I know.
I'll reveal myself to you.
Disadvantage for the second shot. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
The 19 and a 1. Oh,
That's a
and it
jam.
dropped the 19, I know.
Hatred.
At least it didn't happen on your first shot.
Yeah, very true. And I'm gonna do a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Sugoi.
DC 16.
20, not 20.
There you
Fuck
go.
you.
The
that shit.
effects, this cloudiness in your mind that's just causing you to feel this unimaginable sense of horror finally fades away and you come to your senses.
Woot woot.
Woot woot, indeed.
Alright. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright. Raven's gonna use one of her legendary actions. Who's in melee right now?
Very people.
So this is gonna be at disadvantage because she can't stand. She's going to make an attack at... She's gonna get that darn catastrophe out of here. That's what she's gonna try to do. At disadvantage.
Done anything.
That hits. It takes... ...26 points of damage. But apparently it's still alive and kicking. All right.
You know what I think
None.
Neston should do? Fairy fire.
That actually goes down a little bit.
I can't.
Would have had 4
Yeah,
temporary
I
hit
realized that.
points.
He would have had what?
4 temporary hit points, so he's only at 22
Okay.
wounds instead of the 26.
Gotcha. All right, I'll change it. There we go. What you got, Anand?
Let me see. So what has Raven been fighting with this whole time? Are we being
A
attacked by
double-bladed longsword, the same weapon that you've always, well, for a while, seen her use, as well as this hodgepodge of fear and psychic-related powers.
That sounds terrifying. So she's crawling on the ground with
People beating on her. Yes.
the double-bladed longsword.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna be like, I'm so sick of this, and I'm gonna cast heat metal on the sword.
You're gonna cast heat metal on the sword?
Yes.
Okay. So what? The damage is automatic, right?
I shall read to you the spell. Choose metal object, such as a weapon, that you can see within range. You can cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. The only way to avoid this is to drop it.
You actually have to make a saving throw, I believe, to try to hold on to it, right?
Creatures holding or wearing an object takes damage from it. Creature must succeed on Constitution saving throw or drop it. Yes. If it doesn't drop it, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
Okay. Well, that's a 22. She's not dropping it.
So now you're at disadvantage on all ability checks and when attacking.
She already would have been there anyway. She's prone.
So you're doubly disadvantaged.
There's no
You're a
such
minority
thing,
now.
Roll 3 dice, damn it.
Hey, that was a little too real, man.
That was quality.
Okay, so you still have to roll your damage for that.
I do. Let me go ahead and roll my 2d8.
This is fire, correct?
Correctamundo.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled it on the wrong thingy. My apologies. There goes daggum 15 points of fire damage.
That wasn't bad for 2d8s.
No,
Okay.
it's not. I almost rolled max.
Okay. Got anything else?
I am going. Oh well, I'm still feared, right? Don't I need to roll?
At whenever you end your turn, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and she's on the
And
ground,
I think
right?
you're not feared at the moment, but if that drops at any point, you will be again, unless you've saved by that point.
Okay, so I do need to save. I'm gonna go ahead and fly up into the air. I don't know why I didn't do this before.
Okay.
Because I don't like being down here with all this, and I do want to try to make my roll. So it's another wisdom saving throw, right?
It is, yes.
Alrighty. Watch me fail it again. My rolls have been trash tonight.
A lot of people's rolls have been.
That didn't work for some reason. Let's try it again.
Give it a second.
It didn't work a second time.
Yeah, just give it a second. I got a spinny circle.
Okay.
I think it's because I have... Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, well, the second one would have been great, but no, that
Yeah,
first one
no,
is
it's
not
fine.
it's not a success.
It's fine. I'll survive.
All right. Raven, you are up.
Yay.
As you are just surrounded by these ephemerals.
Alright. Give me a second. Alright, got it. Alright, so we're gonna go the full round of attacks.
Hey, that hits. Alright, as you cleave through what's left of this creature, and all you hear it say is, "I'm finally free!" before it dissipates into nothingness.
Awesome. And nope, I don't want to do that. So we're gonna go here. Yeah, natural 20.
There you go.
Does my Crimson Right damage get doubled too?
All damage does.
Cool, well it's gonna take... Remember, this is not lightning damage.
Yes, I'm aware. So that's another 4 points.
8
So
points.
that's 8 points of damage to number 4, was it?
Yep. It already does it on it. But you just have to add the other
man.
4.
Almost. You cleave through this thing, and this time all you leave left is the rest of its body dissipates. There's a head.
I got one more. I got one more attack. What are you talking about? I got one more attack. That was only 2.
Oh yeah, that hits. That's the second time these things have had 1 hit point left. Alright, and that one's gone. You're clearing these ephemerals out.
Yep. And because I'm still going to be in their line of attack, I am now going here.
Okay.
Because I am now flanking, and that will be Raven's turn.
Alright.
Those my all 3 attacks.
It is Sebnalicor's turn.
Remember, I'm 30 feet in the air. Aaron's 30 feet in the air.
I know. So he looks at Aaron, and he just says, "Come closer, Paragon. Why flee?" I need Aaron to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you so much, Kevin.
So Aaron takes 22 points of but 8 of that is psychic, so that's really 18 points of damage if you'll add those wounds. And he is forced 5 feet closer. Now he's only 25 feet in the air. And then Sebnalicor is gonna fly up 10 feet, and he's going for 2 more attacks at Aaron.
It's not like Aaron doesn't have like
216 hit points.
Exactly.
It's why I gave him to you for this fight, so he could be your damage sponge.
Dark saved my life, man.
At first, I thought we were gonna have to attack Aaron.
Y'all would
Nope,
be dead.
that's a miss. And that's a natural 20.
Alright. I figured you're gonna hit me at least once out of all your attacks. At least once around.
So that is 46 points of damage. However, of this 46 points of damage, 10 of it is psychic and 6 of it is necrotic.
So I take half
so you
of
take
both of
8
those.
less. So it's really 38 points of damage.
Okay.
And he, well, that was his 2 other attacks, so that's it. Neston,
Wow,
it's Neston's
you got me
turn.
to 109 points. Okay. So Neston, is this tree that Neston's near still there?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just
The
making sure.
tree that is not still there is that one. That
Well,
tree
he's-
is gone.
He's gonna go hide behind this tree. And yeah, let's see what I can do. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Yes. Yes. Can't do that one. Can't do that one.
Just suggestions
Has-
to help.
Yeah. Suggestions are great. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, we'll do. Is that concentration?
Nope.
Alright, yeah, then I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
That'll be this bonus action.
Yeah, use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
I
Let
gotta
me ask
find-
you, spiritual weapon, does it classify it as a melee spell attack, or is it a regular spell attack?
So it summons and then it attacks at the same time.
Yeah, and the attack that it makes, is it a melee spell attack or a ranged spell? Okay, so it will have disadvantage because she's still prone.
You mean have advantage?
It would be disadvantage from being prone.
No, I'm saying it's a melee attack, so it would be.
Oh, right, yeah, right. I don't know where. Yeah, I had that mixed up. Yes, it would have advantage.
Gotcha. So yeah, where it is.
The magnifying glass in the spell list.
Yeah, I know.
You have your attacks from there.
Make a melee spell attack. So let's see.
Busy? What spell slots are there available?
I only used he has all of his available.
Who's fourth?
You
Okay.
shouldn't.
Well, besides one, I have one that's not. I have a second level that's not.
Okay.
But okay, 4th level. All right, so 4th level. All right, I don't see where I can use this. I don't know what his modifier is. He doesn't have it up here.
Where is spiritual weapon? Oh, I see it. Okay. So it's a +9.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll it here. That'll be a 20.
That doesn't hit. Almost hits, but that doesn't hit.
You roll with advantage?
Oh yeah, you have advantage, so roll another d20.
Alright, give me a second. Nope.
Aw, man, that doesn't hit.
Okay. That is all I can do.
You have an action.
Oh, I do have an action. Can't do a lot. Why did he
Always have a
build?
cantrip. You can always cast a cantrip.
I can always, yeah, I can cast a cantrip.
Or if he's hiding behind the tree, you can just have him hide.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my action to hide.
Okay.
So, do I need to roll a stealth check for that?
Yes. I believe Neston should have advantage, though, I think.
Yeah, I think he said that before.
Yes, Cloak of Elvenkind. You have advantage.
Okay. Cool. Working on it.
You're pretty sure that she still sees you.
Okay. That's Neston.
As she just says, yes, run, run, run!
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I mean, isn't that literally what it is? Because you're telling yourself to go fuck yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, Ephemeral 2's turn. So it's going to move to here, and it's going to with a full round of attacks at Raven. Make a insight check for me, Raven.
Okay.
This is probably going to be an obvious one, so I'm going to make it a really low DC. We'll say a 10.
Yay, that means I only got to roll a 2!
So, these ephemerals want you. They couldn't give a shit about Aaron. They want you.
Alright. I'm just gonna scream out, I got this. Handle the big guy.
He just gives you a salute. Alright, it's coming at you with an attack. Oh, well, that's a miss. Another attack. Believe that's a 17, I'm pretty sure. It's got a spinny circle. So all you hear it say to you is, "Please, I must enter the crystal, the sphere."
That ain't happening.
Ephemeral 3. It's gonna come at you with an attack. That's a miss. It's coming at you again. That's terrible. A 2 and a 3. As it just says, "Must pass! Must pass! Must pass!" Lucas, you are up.
Okay. I'm gonna use my wand paralysis and see if I can paralyze. So it's gonna say con save with a DC of 15.
Con save? Okay. DC 15, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled pretty well. I got that.
Then I'll use a quickening spell and I will cast Hold Person. So DC 17 wisdom save with disadvantage.
That's right. Okay. Oh my god, you won't believe this.
Pass or say pass.
I rolled 2 natural 20s.
Alright, cool.
I think this is the first I've ever done this.
Alright, 13 plus 5 misses. So the cat misses. That's the third.
Alright. Man, I can't believe that. Okay. Alright, at the end of your turn, it's gonna attack you with a excruciating horror. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
And is that a spell?
It's an ability.
Yeah. Okay.
Have any spells been cast tonight?
This one doesn't know any spells. At least not that you know of.
Yikes. Metagaming much?
Not really. A ton of creatures in the game just have natural abilities.
I'm smelling some BS in here. I don't know.
Alright, when you're fighting some mind players, talk about again how you can't counterspell their psionic stuff. Roll 14. That is a failure. You take 19 points of psychic damage.
Am I frightened?
You're in the calm mind, so you would be if it wasn't for that, but as of now, no. Alright, it is Molly's turn.
Bonus action.
Yeah, that hits. Ah, okay.
That's a turn.
All right. It is Nixtry's turn. So, let's see, what's she gonna do? So she's going to activate her. She's gonna use a Blood Maledict.
Yay, Blood Hunters!
She's gonna use Blood Curse of Bloated Agony. So, and she's gonna amplify.
That's a really fun one.
She takes 5 points of damage. And now this creature has disadvantage on strength and dexterity ability checks and suffers a D8 necrotic damage if it makes more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn. Yeah. And it lasts until she saves, but she doesn't get to make a roll right now. And it's at the end of the turn. And that's her bonus action. As her action, she's just gonna grab all those rocks next to Raven. And Raven has to make a dexterity saving throw. Is prone, so has disadvantage. That is a nat 1, so that is a critical. So Raven is going to take 35 points of bludgeoning damage. As while Raven's on the ground, it just goes whop, 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 whop. It's just all these just giant stones just pelt her. That's the end of her turn. And Norn, he's just gonna go ballistic. Going in with a full round of attacks with advantage. Wow, that misses with advantage. Going again. 22, that hits. He's going to use Psi Enhanced Strikes. Throw a D8 on there. It's another 1 force damage. Okay. And it's with another attack. Also throwing a Psi Enhanced Strikes on there. Forgot to click advantage. Oh, that doesn't hit. He's gonna use his action surge. He's gonna do it again. That hits. He's gonna throw another Psi Enhanced Strike. Going again. And we're gonna call it after this turn, guys. It's the end of the round. It's a decent stopping point. That hits. Throw a Psi Enhanced Strikes on there for an extra 3 damage. And his third and final hit. Ah, that misses. And that's the end of his turn. We will finish this fight next session.
By the way, I had Molly roll her wisdom save at the end of her turn. She probably got 16, so she broke the fear.
Cool.
I was not expecting this tonight.